1 second, 1 second, 1 second. Yeah, there is a reason. 1 second. Okay, you guys ready to go? Okay. Yeah, big intro. Alright. Live in 3, 2, 1.
How's it going, VCC OCE? We're here and bringing in another interesting game coming through versus Riyadh, and the yen is going up. We're going to be starting on the first map, which is, it does show up as Fracture, unfortunately, but there's not much we can do about that. Yeah, unfortunately the program just isn't built for the new map yet because it's so early into it. We'll be moving to Ascent for map 2, and the decider will be Haven Cruise, and we're going to be trying to keep this entertaining for everybody. But yeah, starting off on the first map of Corrode, which will be really interesting because we've been yet to see this map in the VCC OCE tournament, or in OCE in general. You know, we've been playing it in comp and whatnot, but it'll be interesting to see how two teams tackle this. It's a really important match too, because for either of these teams, if they manage to pull the win, they qualify for playoffs, and the other one goes down into the lower bracket and has to fight, again, to stay in or get eliminated. So whoever wins this will come out on top and make it through to the playoffs. Bruce, what are you thinking about this map? What do you think's going to happen?
So with this map, as you mentioned before, this is a first time for the tournament. I think we're kind of, since we've yet to see what's going to, like, how this map is played out, I'm kind of excited to see how the comps are run and kind of what plays that they've kind of used to combat all the ratty corners that are found in this map, and how information is going to be gathered considering all the corners and how kind of not as easily usable info initiators are for this map.
Exactly, all those close corners making scan agents very difficult to actually get any value, because you can scan one side of the site but not the other unless you have some crazy lineups. And we are seeing some pretty interesting picks agents wise. We do have Glitch Gull on the Fade. I think Fade could be very useful with her prowlers to be able to clear those close corners. And we're seeing that they don't have an actual sentinel on the side of on the side of the yen is going up, whereas we have a sentinel on the side of Riyadh. Should be very interesting to see. Just waiting on people to lock in, I think.
Yeah, no, I think with this comp that the yen is going up seems to be playing, I think that they are going for more of a kind of have like 2 or 3 people be aggressive, and then have that lurker to kind of poke around the corners. I think the way that they're trying to play this is kind of more so that they can hold the map control and then be able to kind of go back and forth. I believe their comp kind of shine in that aspect.
Absolutely right.
Going into this pistol round here, it seems like we already have the attackers on site with the bomb down now. It's going to be a 5 vs 5 retake, with Glitch Goal being on 13 health, having to already get on site. First blood is drawn from Mist onto BB Wash, and the front side is going to be taken. Big gunfights. Dior will pick up 2, and Mist will get the trade back onto Dior. 3v2 now.
Last player standing.
Looking back, the attack is 3v1 for not in the... Weak. Sorry. 1 before ball is 0.
That was an insane round to watch, and you can see that even the attackers there having that early space, being able to really take that part of the site, but not being able to hold on to it, making it very difficult for them to play their post plan. The side of yen is going up, just being able to push them off that site, letting them on, holding the close angles, and there was just nothing that you could do if you were Riyadh. There was no space to hold. Dior almost coming through and getting 3 with a Sheriff, managing to not getting the 3rd and getting traded out, really just winning out that round.
I'll show you,
the side of the
Omen.
yen is going up.
Yeah, it was actually a very nice 5v5 retake. Looking at the now going into the round for the side of Riyadh. So going for a heavy aggressive mid push, trying to trying to put the Dior into
Launching
the
missile.
He will find Natural with the Sheriff and fall off to regroup his teammates, making the 4v4.
Goodbye.
Two big kills from Glitchball. And will fall down to Note then.
Last player standing.
As the
And
ammo
then
out.
the side of the game is going up, you now close out the round, so 3 alive.
That's not a bad round on the side of Riyadh. Being able to take out 2 on an eco round, but Glitch Goal finding that insane collat and Sin Zero bringing it back and getting those 3 down mid, really just brawling it out, taking that early space. The round was over in seconds, but
I'm
you know,
pushing out.
if I was Riyadh, I'm still happy with that. Taking
Hola.
out 2 guns
Absolutely.
on the side of Yen, that's absolutely insane and very important and could carry them through this now that they have rifles. How will the Yen be able to stop this momentum?
Yeah, and just getting those 2
Drone
kills is
going
very
out.
big for trying to get down to
Toxins
the
going up.
on the side of Yena's going up, going into their buy round for Riyadh. Missed one now, dodge the Fade Eye as Dior will have quick entry onto the B side. Seems like the bomb will get planted very easily. And this is gonna find the pick.
Down B.
GG easy. Zero's gonna find his pick onto the flat stand, and then
Spike planted.
Death Wing will now find Dior.
Toxin screen down.
One enemy remaining.
Quick round end. And the final pick is now felt like final person is now fallen.
That is an insane round on the side of Yen. Being able to pull off that bonus round, being able to get all those guns from the side of Riyadh, just giving them an insane ability to snowball their economy. Riyadh forced again onto another eco, whereas all members of Yen now have rifles. Looks like we're getting a timeout
Wow,
coming on
early
the side of
timeout
Riyadh.
for the side of Riyadh.
Absolutely could be needed. They might be needing to talk about what's going wrong here. How are they going to take this space? Are they going to continue contesting mid, or are they going to keep trying to force their way through those chokes and take some guns here? Are they going to try and play a lurk style? Are they going to be offensive altogether? It's really hard to tell. Again, unlike maps we know pretty well, it's hard to sort of predict what these teams are talking about. We haven't seen how to clear these angles. We haven't seen how these comps will work. So it'd be really interesting. Cruz, what do you think they're talking about right now in this timeout?
I think they need to kind of, just based off the way they're able to get site very easily, take the mains with very little aggression. But when they get on site, they find it very hard to actually hold down the lanes for the defenders to then retake. I think they should be discussing how to kind of further take those lanes to stop defenders from pushing and have a man advantage for their push punt. I think that way they will have the advantage of trying to actually hold down where they can get pushed from.
Absolutely right, Cruz. This map so far seems to be a very, very retake-heavy map. And in order to really cancel that out, Riyadh are going to have to try and take that space and block them or fall off and play post-play and re-swing together. But it's going to be very difficult to do that with the way Yen have been controlling this space.
Drone is down.
Yeah.
Lots of it.
Grenade is dying.
Like heavy mid aggression, we'll have a 1-for-1 trade, and then Natural will find GG easy. One coming out, and then 2 quick kills. It's looking pretty bad for the units going up, but Riyadh, their breach is going to be very low.
Fake teleport.
Natural,
Cutting through.
also 24 health.
Last player
What's the noise of
standing.
the plant? 2v1 for Natural.
One
Looking very
enemy
rough.
remaining.
He will
Fake
get the
teleport.
spike carrier,
Cutting through.
but he's unaware of the Omen's positioning. I wonder if he will hear him. And he will catch him, smoke out. Very well played by Natural, slaying those ones, finding the Nothan with the spike knife out, trying to regroup with his Omen. I think it was very well timed by Natural, and I think that,
I need a
it was,
drop.
yeah, very well played overall.
Thanks.
Absolutely, and that was so important for them in that round. Not Ethan being able to get 2, pick up a rifle, and just really put that pressure on, and Riyadh almost bringing the eco into their favor, but Twice Stan unfortunately reloading his Sheriff at the wrong moment, letting Natural know where he was, and letting Natural pick up that win.
Yeah, we'll go into this round 5 now with another full buy round, having guns at both sides. It's looking like a 5-man hit for B-main. Mist will find a big opening, and then traded out by Dior. They'll have the site, and I wonder how they're going to end up playing this post plan. They're just going to be kind of claustrophobic on site, as they kind of have been showing, or if they will kind of get a little bit more aggressive. The way it's looking right now, it's looking like they're going to hold each other's hands and kind of play trades. They will find a trade, twice stand, and then Death
One enemy remaining.
Easy. Zero finds twice stand, and we'll also find BB Wash. So we close out that round. 5-0 lead for DN is going up. It's looking very dominant on this map.
Again, just having those retakes on point, willing to wait for all of their team to get there and just flood out. I mean, we were talking about how info is going to be difficult on this map for different teams, but we're seeing the combination between Fade and, you know, an agent that we don't really see picked all that much anymore. Tejo, just the drone and the, you know, the Haunt, giving them all the information they need and really pushing the members of Riyadh into awkward positions, stopping them from getting aggressive, taking those spaces like Heaven, which are so important to stop those retakes. And the Yen are just capitalizing off of that and really just pushing all pressure from all sides on Riyadh.
I think they're conditioning them very well. Now going into round 6, it's going to be a force coming out from Riyadh to try and take this round. They have double up in A link between 0 and Deftones. Deftones will find not Ethan, and the BB Wash will trade him out. Natural is going to find really easy. And now this is a 1v3 by stand. We'll find the first. Will he be able to find any more? Teleporting into that defender spawn has very open lanes as to where he's able to go.
From the shadows, really putting question marks on the map, and you're seeing the other 2 members of the Yen stuck, separated. If Twice Stan is able to catch Natural here, it could swing this back in the favor of Riyadh. Looks like Natural might be
One enemy remaining.
Nice shot from Stan there. Now Mist is very aware of his position, and he'll get that spike down. He has a lot of options as to where he's able to position to. Mist is opting to go through a link, but it looks like Twice Stan is going to be aware. Caught with the smoke out though, and Mist is going to collect the 6th round for the Yen is going up. I believe he's going back to grab an op off of Glitchgold's body, and then we'll be able to pick up at the fuse to get that Vox pit up online.
I have to say, I respect the Fade operator. That's
Yeah.
it's very gutsy coming from Glitchgold, but you know what? It might an operator on this map is very difficult to really get anything done. Yeah, but the Viper Wall cutting off that line can also be just as powerful. Again, Yen finding the answers. It's come down to a 1v1 twice, but both times Yen has just been able to succeed. It was an opportunity for Twice. Absolutely, it was an opportunity for Twice Stan to take that 1v1 again. Same situation, same place almost. Winning it out against Natural this time, but unfortunately not able to find the kill onto Mist. And these rounds have been so close, but again, Yen just coming out on top, showing that they know how to play this map, know how to retake. They've done their practice, they've done their research, and it's paying off.
Yeah, now, for this round 7, it's looking like it's going to be a force on the side of Riyadh. They really do need to get this first round, but Dior will be shut down by Natural with that operator. And then he will get traded out by Not Ethan. Deftones will get Not Ethan on the trade as well. And it's kind of calmed down, a 4v3 situation. Oh, and Glitchgold will be able to find a pick. Bastan left into another situation, but will not be able to close this round out. 7 rounds for the side of the Yen is going up.
This is a stark contrast to the last few rounds. So this time Yen decided to stand their ground. They didn't let Riyadh through that A main choke. They had a lot of trouble getting first pick from Natural, making it very difficult for Riyadh to really capitalize off of any space. We're seeing that Yen are very comfortable on this map, especially on the defender side. And it's too early to tell whether this map is defender-sided or attacker-sided. We might see Riyadh start bringing it back. Even if they can get a couple more rounds here, if they can bring it to a 7-5, it could go either way.
7-5 would be certainly ideal for this side of Riyadh. But considering how this has been looking, it's going to be very dominant. Dior will be in the back side with a judge. The Prowler's not clearing him out. 2 huge kills from
down,
this.
B.
The
One enemy
Prowler
remaining.
not scanning. I think he's aware of Twice Stand being up heaven, especially now hearing that drop sound. Natural, hard scoping Swan will gather the kill onto Twice Stand. Bro, flawless rounds, collecting 8 rounds.
Such an unlucky round on the side of Riyadh. All it took was one mistake, not clearing that close corner on the B side, and missed just being able to capitalize off it. Insane aim as well, hitting 3. The blinds coming
Very nice,
through from the side of Yen. Yeah, the side of Yen using their utility so well. Riyadh had no chance there. Even when they got onto side, it was just over. They couldn't get any space. The utility was just perfect from the side of Yen.
Yeah, it was very well coordinated. It's looking like now going into round 9, there will be a 5-man push into A main. Natural hard scopes, misses the shot. He's now aware. He'll have
Face your fear!
Deftones will be holding from main. Sorry, Link. And Glitch will come in as well off the scan of all 5 from that fatal. The tail from 0 will come out into elbow, clearing that all out, forcing the last remaining 4 players from Riyadh back into main. To try and retry the exec.
Bring them down.
Huge kill from Glitch Goal onto Stan, and misses in a little bit of a predicament as to whether to shoot the trip. Kind of waiting for the Cypher to get the shot.
Die.
Now with that huge kill from Natural, Mist will be able to continue on with the flank.
Last
It's a
player
main.
standing.
Now a 1v3 for not Ethan. This is definitely possible, but he will get caught out from the flanker of Mist. 9 rounds to 0 for the side of Yen is going up.
Deftones there,
Anyone
taking
have
that
funds to
risky
spare?
teleport and catching out the player, pushing up, trying to support. Not Ethan. Just wouldn't expect such an aggressive play, but honestly, that made the round so hard for Riyadh and made it so winnable for Yen. Just taking that timing, catching that player unaware, really just holding that space. And again, we're seeing Yen are so comfortable on this map. They know how to retake. They're abusing operators. They're abusing Odin. They know what to do on this map. And Riyadh is struggling to find an answer, despite getting all that early space.
Now going into this 10th round, they're going to have a fast B push with on the eco, with a following behind the Rolling Thunder. It's going to be Dior up into that elbow, not able to find one. Dior with 2 huge spray downs. Deathmans will also get one. Stands there to trade him out. Glitchgo with a 3rd is able to just kind of run them down. Might be getting a 4th? No, Zero will find that last kill. A very quick end to the round to get 10 to 0 for the side the Yen is going up. Very dominant showing from them so far.
And what is that round from Glitch? Shooting at the person, running into the smoke and accidentally killing someone else in the process. You have got to be so happy if you're Glitch Girl there. I mean, fragging at the top of the lobby with this Odin. I mean, I understand the use of it. This map is, like, the walls are paper thin, but you have to be so frustrated facing that. Again, not even intending to kill that second player through the smoke, but managing to find that and going for the shorty kill, just showing the confidence on that side, just really loving this map. How will Riyadh sort of turn this in their favor?
For the last couple of rounds, it's been Dior with that judge, kind of just getting aggressive. That just here, we've seen him get that one before being traded out by Deftones. Now a 4v3 going to the very start of this round essentially. It's not looking the best for Riyadh so far. With not Ethan falling
Spike
to
down,
Deftones,
mid.
that is the spike down. They will have Twice Stand trying to push up. Get that miss.
One
round
enemy
to missed.
remaining.
It's looking very well for Riyadh to collect the first round. Natural seems to have disconnected at a very unfortunate time. 2v1. He's going to be found out. That is very unfortunate timing on that disconnect right there. I'm not sure as to how this is going to work
Last round
out.
in the half.
It's very unfortunate, very unfortunate moment in the round, but I feel like even if Natural was still there, it would have been very difficult for him to be able to secure that. He might have gotten one and gotten traded immediately. I mean, yeah, especially that. And the players of Riyadh played so tightly and so well there. They played off each other, they traded each other, they held their space, and even if he was able to get one there, I feel like he would have been immediately traded out. And yeah, just the first round, putting Riyadh on the board, very important for the side of Riyadh, really bringing it into their favor. So if they can
Very
get another
big
one,
round
it's
for
not
them to
entirely,
win.
not entirely
Considering they were
losable. It
down
could be
10 rounds.
absolutely. It could absolutely be a defender-sided map. I guess we'll wait and see. We'll
It's
sit in
looking
this
like
tech
it
pause
with
for
the
a
last
while.
round of the half. It's going to kind of all come down to this one round. With the tech pause, we're going to wait for Natural to reconnect.
Natural
This
usually
may
takes
take a
ages.
second.
If you want to sign out, say we'll be back with you very soon, you can do that, and I'll mute you guys.
Alright, well, seeing as this tech pause is dragging on for a little while, we might just take a quick little break, and we'll be back as soon as we can start the matchup again. Shouldn't take too long, hopefully.
Alright,
Alright, you guys are muted. Grab some water, take a quick break. Yeah. All good. Everything's working perfectly so far. I'm not having any issues, which is nice for a change. We only have 3 viewers though, so very unfortunate. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's fair. Oh, one of them is me. Yeah, I mean, what a thrashing. Wow. So who do you guys think is going to win? Team without the boosted radiant? Which one's the boosted radiant? Who's that? Which one? The Jet. Oh, Dior. I don't know who Dior is. Fair enough. So who's the team without the booster? Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah. What's me watching to see if my production was good? 200 times. Sorry. I have him turned down to 64%. And Crowler's on 180%. And that is even you guys out. Alright, yes, they're saying ready anyway. Okay, you guys ready to go? Alright. Alright, you are live in 3, 2, 1, on.
Alright,
guys,
looks
back.
like we're coming back. We're coming back
We
into
just
it
started.
now. Yeah, we've got the players back. Looks like we're about to finish off this half, this last round. Being very critical for Riyadh. If they can pull this off and get this round, it's not entirely losable. 10-2 comebacks aren't unheard of, especially in this tournament. We've seen it before.
certainly not.
So it's entirely possible for them to be able to bring this back. And again, I don't know this map too well. It could turn out to be extremely defender-sided, so we'll have to wait and see.
Big first kill on tonight, Ethan from this. And get that breach out of the round. Only 2 players left remaining in main. They seem to be pretty lost as whether to scale up or to kind of fall back. They seem to kind of just be baiting out Mist, trying to see if he wants to re-peek or not.
Looks like they're taking a more defaulty approach, isn't it, Cruz? They're
Seems
learning
so.
from their previous mistakes of pushing super hard and getting punished for it. I mean, we saw Mist take
Yeah.
the first kill really early, and now they're just taking their time, trying to default,
Especially-
try and get some space.
Now with Natural popping that dimensional drift, spot out the 2 players in main. Dior has the entirety of A site. There's 3 players, sorry, in Link, ready to kind of spring out at any moment's time. You're taking that aggressive angle, finding Glitch go. They'll get the spike down, and BB Wash would fall bottom mid. This is now a 2v4, extremely difficult for them to kind of gather this all back. Deftones is going to pop an ult into sight. It's kind of so
Last
good
player
on kind of see
standing.
where everyone's at. Stan will get one before falling, and so will Dior. This is going to be an 11-1 half. The yen is going up, extremely dominant for them. It's going to be very, very hard for Riyadh to kind of come back into this game.
It is so difficult for Riyadh to be able to pull
Switching
anything. I
sides.
mean, 11-1, that's definitely not an ideal
Never show
scoreline.
weakness.
You know, it's not over until it's over, and as long as Riyadh keep that
course.
strong mental, as long as they're willing to fight it, it's entirely possible to come back. But it's also completely... It seems impossible. It's such a big task. I mean, all the yen need here is 2 rounds. 2 rounds, and, you know, in 10 rounds plus, it's very easy for them to just pull that number. So Riyadh are going to have to be flawless here. They can't make any mistakes. They're going to make sure everything they do has a purpose. They know what they're doing. They're playing together. And again, they can't make a single mistake, or it's just game over for them on this first map. So we'll have to wait and see. It'll be very interesting to watch.
Yeah, very. Now going into this pistol round, first pistol round of the half, we're going to see a very interesting wall on the side of Mist. For Yena's going up to 4-person go into top mid. Stan is going to have an insane whiff. All 5 are going to top mid. They somehow didn't go back to clear Stan though, even off the noise of like, about 10 classic shots. It seems it's going to be 2 people on the side of Riyadh in elbow, having to try and fight them off. They'll find
Spike down, B.
Dior will fall. GG will get 1 before falling as well. Now a 2v3. Very difficult for Riyadh. If they are able to clutch this
One
up, it's
enemy
going to be
remaining.
very crucial. But it's not looking very likely, as Natural is going to find one and then spot out not Ethan in spawn. No, Ethan will find one. Yeah, now doubled up, and Zero will find that last kill. Closing out the pistol round. 12-1 match point for the Yenas going up.
point.
That is a devastating round for the side of Riyadh. Oh, what can you do there? 12-1 and being forced to, well, force on this round. They don't manage to find an answer here. It's just going to be on to the next map. That being said, again, Crowd is a new map. This is by no means a true testament to their skill on the side of Riyadh. They made it 3 games.
Let's go.
You know, 1 game away from playoffs. They're clearly a good team, but just struggling to find an answer on this new map. Maybe they haven't been able to practice it all that much, or maybe the side of Yen has had more time to really solidify their position on this map, and we're seeing that. We're seeing that struggle. So
Yes.
the next map's gonna be interesting, but right now it's looking like it's in the side of Yen's favor.
If Yen are able to close this map
Here.
out, considering the force has come out from Riyadh, 3 Stingers, a Bucky, and a Sheriff, it's going to be very good going into these next map, and possibly even a map after that. Especially if this is going to be a 13-1 win for Yen, it's going to be quite a tilter for Riyadh. Kind of hard for them to reset their mental and go into that next map. Very slow
there's anything-
showing.
If there's anything I've learned from these OCE teams is that no one goes down until it's over. Everyone fights as hard as they can until the end. And I think that, yeah, the mental will be hurt, but I don't think they're giving up anytime soon. I think they'll be able to fight this through until the end. We might even see a map 3, depending on what happens in the next map.
Possibly. Now we're gonna see Yen running it down into A, going through elbow.
30 seconds left.
Nacho on a look, kind of bottom mid area. Deftones wants to get aggressive on Ethan. He'll find him, getting rid of that Bucky, or taking minimal damage, which will be regened by that regen
Spike
shield.
planted.
Going to a 3v5 retake to keep them alive in this map. It's looking very hard for them to complete. 3
Last player
in that backside
standing.
angle. And there goes that map.
Attackers
3k
win.
from Mist to end it out.
And there's not much I can say at that last round. I mean, everything was stacked in the favor of the Yen, and managing to pull a 13-1 win, I mean, you know, they just snowballed. It was pretty much after that 3rd round in the game where they managed to pull off that eco and managed to snowball their economy, and Riyadh was just on the back foot the entire time, just trying to force each round and trying to make something happen, but they just had no luck. the side of Yen, they were just ready for each push they had, and they had such great tactics, such good ways to stop them from clearing sites, and the retakes were flawless. It was just so difficult for Riyadh to get anything. They would often take space. We'd see them take the sites, but they just couldn't hold it because, again, Yen had these practice, methodical retakes, utility landing, each bit having a purpose, and just forcing Riyadh either to take disadvantageous fights or just get killed in corners. It was impossible for them to do much, and yeah, you got to give Yen credit. It was the utility that carried them through. Obviously, the individual gunplay was insane too. I mean, Mist had so many rounds where they held down a site by themselves, getting 3-4 kills, and Natural clutching up a few rounds, but yeah, it was just a very dominant map on the side of Yen.
Very. We off what you said there from Mist getting those 3 and 4Ks, he did come out on that match MVP going 16-5, a very dominant showing. He had extremely nice kind of timings on that defensive side, and even those last 2 rounds we were able to see on the attacking side from him. There were 2 very nice walls they were able to see from that split wall through mid, and I believe there was one for B that would have helped him lurk if there was not a cipher trip. I think he's definitely had some time on this agent to really think it through and kind of know what's effective and how variations can kind of assist his team in knowing that this is going to be a round they can take, and like kind of how to use the wall to their favor.
Alright, sign out for 3-minute break if you guys want to break.
Absolutely, and yeah, we saw Glitch Girl with the Odin coming through clutch, getting some spam kills and whatnot. Lots of good plays from the side of Yen. We're gonna go for a quick break at the moment. We're gonna swap between this map and the next one, give the players a bit of time to have a drink, do whatever they need to do, and we'll be back in about 4 minutes for the next map, Ascent. We'll see you there.
Alright, you guys are muted. Good stuff, guys. Really good work. No issues at all with the commentary. Yeah, no, you're alright. You're doing really well, bro. You're doing really well as a play-by-play. Yeah, the only, like, it's minimal. The only thing I'd say is try varying your phrasing a little bit. The little phrase kind of you used quite a bit that game. It's all good. Like, I understand that it is hard to come up with things on the spot. It's just, yeah, no, you're doing fucking crazy, bro. I'm really impressed. Yeah, on top of that, as the analyst, it's your job to highlight the economy and the alt economy as well. Yeah, going to the next round, kind of talking about critical alts be online, critical alts coming online during that round, maybe. That sort of stuff. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I'm really happy. You're fine. Yeah, sounds good. What are we looking at? Alright. That's probably natural. Natural tends to close his game so that he can make it yeah, exactly. It's fucking crazy. I would hate to be in this situation. Yeah. Yeah, fact. I mean, he was immortal before his fucking thing started breaking. If you guys want to hop in early, I can put you on the map veto page and you can talk about what you're expecting from Ascent. Yeah, it shouldn't take Natural that long to get back in. I mean, we can wait a little bit longer. I think just... Yeah. Well, this isn't him resetting, though. This isn't him resetting. This is him rebooting. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Especially talk about the fact that, the Ascent, the most defender-sided map in the game, was Yen's pick, and Riyadh are playing defense first half. It should be interesting. We should see a lot more rounds coming in from Riyadh here. Hopefully. Because this is the 3-2 bracket. I was not expecting a 13-1 in the 3-2 bracket. Wait, really? That shouldn't be the case at all. During, like now, or like during when I'm talking to you guys? Oh yeah, it is. That's really odd. Okay, well, fixed now. That's really odd. That shouldn't be doing that. There's literally no input here that is my microphone. I've closed every other input. Oh yeah, because you'll be able to hear me for the next 3 minutes. Okay. That's disappointing. Yep. Alright. Alright. As soon as you're ready, I'll unmute you guys. Ready from both? Alright, going live in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back, VCC OCE. We're looking to go on to the next map, Ascent. We saw a pretty powerful win from the side of Yen, a very dominant map, being able to take 13-1, and that's gonna hurt the mental of Riyadh here. But yeah, it should be very interesting to see. I mean, Corrode, very difficult map to sort of read, understand what is happening. Again, I'm not too familiar with the map. I don't know what works and what doesn't on that map. I don't know whether it's defender-sided or attacker-sided, but we saw Yen were dominant on that defender side, and surely Riyadh would have been probably a bit stronger on that defender side, but all it took was one mistake, and they were out of it. So you got to give them a little bit of credit here, especially because right now Ascent is the pick of Yen, which means that Riyadh have chosen the defender side, which on this map, again, a map I'm very familiar with, and I assume most players are since it's been in since the start of the game, we all know that this map can be quite defender-sided. Now, players in this tournament multiple times have shown that despite the defender-sided nature of this, the OCE players seem to just be really good on the attacker side, so it'll really come down to how Riyadh play their defense. Are they going to get that early lead? Are they going to be able to maintain that mental? Are they going to be able to fight for that space, deny Yen any ability to take sides, get breakthrough chokes, fight through mid? If they can do that, they can bring this to map 3, and again, that inherent advantage on the defender side of Ascent anything is possible. And it'll all depend on comp. It'll depend on how they play, whether they're aggressive, whether they play super defensive, they play those retakes that we've seen that Yen were really good on their retakes on Corrode. So how are they going to do on the attack? We didn't really get much of a look at Yen's attack in that previous map. Yen, being the strong defender side, bringing it to 11-1. How are they going to fight on attack? We didn't get a really good ability to see what they're capable of. So will Yen be able to bring this into a more dominant map again? Or are Riyadh going to stop them in their tracks, tell them, no, we're not going down without a fight, and take this map and force it onto Haven, another 3-side map? Just really force this fight, drag it all the way out. I guess we'll see soon. Cool. What are you thinking after that last map? What do you think is going to transpire on a set?
After that heavily dominant showing on the side of Yen, that 11-1 half, as you mentioned, that was Riyadh's pick on Corrode there. Going into this now Ascent, a more, like, usually more defensive side of the map, this is Yen's pick, so this should be their more comfortable side. And considering that was a 13-1 on not their pick, I'm very excited to see how this is going to turn out.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. It looks like we've got everyone back in the lobby now, and we'll be starting sort of shortly. And again, being able to see what kind of roles we're going to pick here, what sort of rosters are going to come up, will really determine how this map goes. I mean, we've seen lots of these players play on this map before. As an example, many of the games I've casted have had Natural in it, and he loves a good Yoro on this map. And I mean, again, it really depends on comp. Like, as I have said in the past, Ascent is definitely defender-sided, but if you have the right comp and you have the right team, you can turn it into your favor no matter what goes on. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
again, we'll have to wait and see.
Yep. So I think with now the side of Yen, they've switched out Glitchko for specs, and Glitchko seemed opting towards a coach. So if there seems to be any timeouts, it seems like they could possibly have an advantage having that extra mind to kind of have their perspective. I think hopefully, considering this is now their map pick, they should be able to kind of keep in control of this game. I'm excited to see how Riyadh will be able to clap back and see how their mental is reset, and just know that they should be able to probably have a bit of a better side than that 11-1 that ended up unfortunately being the case for that Corrode.
Looks like we might be waiting a few more seconds. We'll see what happens. But yeah, just you're absolutely right. Just all that interesting stuff, and you specifically touched on something that these teams don't seem to use to their advantage. And I know because I don't do it a lot myself out of accident. But utilizing those timeouts, really cutting momentum of the other team, and taking your time talking through the issues, being able to talk to the players on the team. Whoever's IGLing both sides needs to be able to abuse that. Take those moments to sit back and go, these are our problems. This is what we're struggling with. And this is what we need to do to beat them in the future. Finding those weaknesses, getting that information, talking to the players, re-hyping them, getting that mental back. Timeouts can be used for just about anything. So far, most of the timeouts we've seen in this tournament has been because a player wanted to go get like a drink or something silly. So hopefully we are going to see we're going to see some of these timeouts being used in a bit more of a game-changing way, a way to be able to help each other through this process, work out plans, try and counter these enemies, really make a serious impact on the game coming through. And especially on a map like Ascent, where, in my opinion, information is power. The more you know about how the enemy like to play, especially on attack, the more you're able to abuse their weakest link. Well, what site has the least people? What site doesn't have the sentinel on it? You know what I mean? So it really comes down to how you're going to use that information and those timeouts to really bring together the necessary environment for your team to thrive. As much as I love the map Ascent, I haven't had much success on it. But Cruz, I've seen I've casted your games where you've had crazy clutches. Do you want to talk some of these people through what goes through your mind in these situations? I've seen you get 1v3s on the side of A as Sova. how do you use your kit? What goes through your mind when you're thinking about these clutches? I've seen you on Silent Horror again multiple times taking those wins. What is it that you do that makes you so good with this map?
I think this map is very easy to essentially read. You have because everyone is very accustomed to this map. It's been in since episode 1 act 1. It's the map when they think of the game. I think you're able to, when you're going for like kind of unfavorable fights, you're able to know that you're able to easily predict where you can find the enemies, whether it is on that A site, you have that gen, you have dice, you just have main, you're able to jump down, you can clear hell essentially like very easily with a Sova or just any other recon initiator. I think the way that Ascent is laid out, it's easy to clear things if it's only one person in those spots. Doubling up is very strong when it comes to Ascent, just simply because there's so many ways that you can be like you can retake from, that you can just have an unexpected angle to get back into the game with.
You're absolutely right. And again, it comes down to that information, knowing where players are, knowing how to fight together. And like you said, doubling up's really important. I mean, if players are playing post plant on that A side and you're the defenders there, you have to force your way into them. If you try and defuse, it's so easy just for Odin spams to come through or utility, mollies, whatever it is to deny the plant. You have to take those fights. You have to take that space. It's so important. Again, that default style gameplay I was talking about. It applies to both attackers and defenders. Figuring out what angles and what lanes people are willing to fight and holding those lanes. For defenders, frequently taking A main, denying the offense the ability to take that and forcing them either mid or B, hopefully, into a sentinel, or vice versa, taking that B lane and forcing them into A where your sentinel is. Really trying to force the players into a position where they have to take unfavorable fights. And that's the name of the game on Ascent. You want to control map space, and maps like Corrode, it's very different. I feel like in Corrode, it's very difficult to hold space. There's so many different lanes that you can take areas in and really just put pressure on the defenders. But again, if you hold that space, it's crucial as well. But Ascent, it's so much easier, so many more straight lanes, and yeah, I guess we'll wait and see. But it looks like right now we're having some issues in the lobby. And
With
I'm starting to run out
subs.
of things to talk about. I don't know about you, Cruz, but I think we might be looking at another tech pause here in just a moment.
Possibly. It seems that there might be a little bit of issues with finding a sub for someone who is disconnected on the side of Riyadh. So I believe that if they're unable to find a sub, that it may be a little bit, oh, might be yeah, a little bit of a series for Yen.
It's an unfortunate reality of these tournaments, but these
Mm.
players all have, things that they need to do outside of
Just
pixels
lives,
on a
yeah.
screen. It's very important for us, but you know, at the end of the day, these things happen, and there's not much we can do to control that.
Of course.
You know, just hoping that we can find these players to really fill in the spots, really fill in these gaps, and see how it will affect the overall team play from both sides. Like it's one thing to have a consistent roster and be able to practice, but pulling in subs can really impact the difference of the team, whether they play super well or they struggle with these new players. They can't find a way to really work it out and get that synergy that they'd otherwise have with the main five. But yeah, I think for now, like I said, there's not much more to talk about until the game actually starts. So we might just take a quick tech break, and we'll be back as soon as we
Possibly,
possibly
yes.
can with players ready to go. We'll let you know as it develops. Sorry for the tech pause again, guys, but it's becoming a staple of the VCC OCE tournament.
Yep.
We'll see you guys shortly. All right, welcome back, guys. Sorry for the delay. Just some issues with players' PCs and internet and whatnot. You know, we've all had it before. We've all had our power go out at an inopportune moment, or our internet drop, or a PC just suddenly decide today's the day that turn off on us. But yeah, look, we're back into it, and we're about to get into this next map, and it should be super interesting to watch. Again, Ascent, that defender-sided map. We're gonna see some crazy plays coming through here, especially against these two teams. We've seen the gunplay has been insane, despite the fact that the rounds really went in Yen's favor last map. Doesn't matter. The individual skill has been insane from both teams. These gunfights we've been seeing is crazy. We are in the Agent Select now, and we're getting a little first look into what we're picking here. It looks like the sides of Riyadh maybe going for that double duelist comp. Triple duelist comp even. I doubt that's what they're going to run, but it's what they're hovering at the moment. Yeah, we're seeing a bit more of a cautious pick from the side of Yen. But yeah, just waiting on these players to finalize their picks. Cruz, what are you thinking so far with this these lineups?
Off of what everyone seems to be kind of hovering, they're a little bit skeptical, but a lot more of an aggressive kind of game is what we're going to see here. With only 11 seconds left in Agent Select, Riyadh fully locked in with a double duelist consisting of Jet and Neon, and then the Cypher instead of the usual KJ. It looks like we're going to see a Jet Yoru comp coming from Yen with Natural, and that signature Yoru he seems to be very comfortable playing. We are going to see an Omen Cypher and Sova on both sides. Actually, Omen Cypher, Jet, and Sova, with only variation being the Neon and the Yoru. With Sahil on that Neon, which he seems to have been very comfortable playing.
Absolutely, it's going to be a very interesting match. I mean, we are seeing that we're looking at double duelist comps on both sides, which is not very typical of this map. Normally, we will see, you know, a double sentinel even, or one duelist and two innies. But again, these double duelist comps, both teams showing that they're not scared. They're willing to take these fights. They're willing to take this space, and it's going to be very interesting to watch. Honestly,
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how this goes.
Yeah. So, with the way that just off of like buys so far, it seems that Yen are going to go for like a more of a mid default, looking for where they're going, and then with the 3 classics and the frenzy, they might be running it down a little bit faster.
Trying to take the fight mid, going through with the frenzy. This is utility coming through Natural. Looks like they're fighting through mid here. Sin taking the space, blocked off by not Ethan Cypher Catch. Paranoia coming through. Mislab's men picking up not Ethan. Kylie taking the fight on the mid players. Really just fighting through. Zero picks Kylie. Insane round. Natural walking up CT. Sahil, GG, getting 2. Dior taking out this. Really, just in seconds, this round has turned into the favor of Riyadh. Natural left alone, looking for picks here. Takes out Sahil. Gets caught by Dior. Dinks. The fight's coming through. Natural, 1 HP. Takes out GG's. Could go either way. Both players, Dior, Natural, on low HP. Natural, using his Euro teleport to get him space towards A, knowing that Dior is stuck on B side. Natural, being able to use his ability to reposition. Both players, 1 HP to each other. It's going to turn out to be a really interesting fight. Natural, turning back to tree. Might catch out Dior here. Is Dior aware? Dior walks heaven. Natural, uses his TP, tries to fake it. Plays for the triangle, thinking that he might catch Dior, trying to flank. But thinking better of it, coming back through tree here. Dior clearing out heaven, really taking his time, making sure he's not picked off here. Again, both players, 1 HP. Very dangerous situation, but the clock is ticking down. Dior forced to tap the bomb. Natural, not falling for it. Doesn't expect Dior to be holding it. It's about to swing. Catches the timing, kills Dior, and the round goes in favor of Yen.
That is an insane showing from Natural there. 1v3, you know, it's not difficult. Did help though that he was able to catch out 2 of those players, being Sahil and Dior, a little bit on lower HP. I think that was a very, very well nice shooting from him. I thought for sure that Riyadh would have that just based off that. Start of the round was very good from Mist. Finding that lurk onto the enemy Cypher of not Ethan from B main was very crucial.
I'm out of here.
Absolutely right, Cruz. We're seeing a very aggressive play throughout A. All 5 players on the side of Riyadh pushing up. I mean, they might even catch. They might even catch the players of Yen in mid. Natural seems ready for it. Takes a shot, but is caught in the corner. Deftones, Natural taking the fight. Takes out Dior. Sahil trades it out, taking down Deftones. Natural swinging back through mid. Takes some shots, but unfortunately misses. All players of Riyadh pushing up mid here. Trying to counter this play from the side of Yen. Kylie picking up that Guardian. Could swing this back in their favor. Zero ready here. Sitting underneath Cypher. Sahil takes out Natural. Zero doesn't. Oh, does capitalize. Specs taking out anything. Kylie trading out Specs. The trades are going like crazy. It is an insane round. Kylie left in a 1v2. Guardian in hand. Is she going to clear these angles? Mist holding whatever they can. Here's the drops. Sin takes out Kylie. Zero getting that kill. That round going either way there. That is a fantastic round from the side of Riyadh. I mean, they took out 2, 3, 4.
I think that was a great round from Riyadh. That A main push would have worked so well if only that Yen were there.
That's
There was all 5 there. Perfect util and the Sova dart, and then there was the Paranoia with Sahil being able to kind of just follow that up very well with the Neon. I think the way that they played that round certainly, as you said, could have gone either way.
Absolutely right, Cruz. And getting a look into this next round. It's being a bit more slow, a bit more disciplined. But again, Yen showing that they love to take mid space here. And honestly, Riyadh not really holding it all that well. Just leaving GGEs here in a 1v4. Smoke comes through from Zero. Ashes pass. GG gets it out, but Natural trades it out. And maybe picking up a rifle here. Sahil responds by pushing into A main. Really just trying to play unexpectedly here. Trying to catch the people of Yen off guard. He might catch out Specs here. Specs taking down, but Natural actually teleports and takes out Sahil. Dior left in this situation. Gets sprayed through by Natural in a 3k. Kylie trades out Deftones. Holds the site. Takes down Natural. Huge hero plays on the side of Kylie. Holding this side. Grabbing the spike. It's left up to Mist. Mist taking their time. Really just trying to clear this out. Trying to do as much damage as possible here. If they can even take one more out, this bonus is a huge victory on the side again. And if Mist manages to win it out, I mean, it's looking very reminiscent of Corrode. Now, fights Kylie. Doesn't manage to get it. Not even spraying through the Odin, taking this down. Round in favor of Riyadh.
Don't worry. The
If I was
house always
Riyadh there,
wins.
I'd say that was it was a great round by them. I'm not sure about that leaving
This goes
solo
here.
player Tree just kind of holding mid all by himself essentially. It was very
this is
close
a
in
nice
the end,
one.
coming to that 1v2, and Kylie nearly would have been taken out there. Was able
This
to
goes
kind of be
here.
saved by not Ethan and that Odin, kind of pick up that first round. 1-2 scoreline is pretty usual, so it's looking good for them.
It'll all be about how these players on the side of Yen capitalize on this attack. Even if they can get 2, 3 more rounds, they're putting themselves in a position that's advantageous. Looks like we're getting a heavy tree execute here. Again, left completely unguarded. Zero taking the space up heaven. Kylie taking out Natural. Huge kill. Zero coming through trying to trade it out. Doesn't get it. Kylie kills Zero. Specs kills Kylie. Deftones takes out not Ethan. Taking out Mist. And Deftones taking out GGEs. It's a 2v2. All in the matter of seconds. It's hard to keep up with what was going on in that round. But again, both teams trade for trade, gun for gun. They're not willing to let this go. Right now, 2v2 retake on the side of Riyadh. Specs, Deftones, doubling up heaven, sending a dart, potentially trying to fake out the side of Riyadh, trying to make them think that maybe they're playing main here. Doubled up together, holding that side. Not Ethan, drops down, clears the wrong angle. Michelson catches both, not Ethan! 3k with the Odin, winning out that round for Riyadh. It's starting to look like it's going back in their favor.
Absolutely crucial round for Riyadh to win. This is now tied up at 2. That was the first gun round of the game, and it's looking very well, very nice for Riyadh to kind of go further into this game than that Corrode ended up being. This could be a very different round. It's looking like Riyadh should take this now that Yen are on an eco with only sheriffs and essentially a classic. So if they're able to pick this round up, this is going to be very big for them going into the rest of this game, kind of setting them up on that deep and just having that round advantage.
Absolutely, and that round advantage cannot be understated for the mental on this side of the game. Ascent is all about mental. If you start losing those early rounds, you're going to have a hard time bringing it back. And it looks like these players are quite confident. Again, we're seeing another tree push. The side of Yen just loving taking that space tree. Looks like they might have faked it though. And it looks like Riyadh's bought it, missed, lurking up, taking this space, willing to... Sin Zero jumping over, making Not Ethan aware, but not in time. Zero picking Not Ethan, taking out the Sentinel on the B side and winning themselves a free B side. And the capitalization coming off it from the side of Yen, taking all that space. Natural trying to take the fight on Dior, but thinking better of it and backing off. Right now, Favor currently on the side of Yen, but Riyadh not willing to let this happen. Trying to group up, trying to push all together through CT. Looks like Soldier is going to be coming up, trying to clear this close angle. Dark coming through, scanning the members of Riyadh, and we're getting a Hunter's Fury coming through. Natural spraying the block, Specs taking out GGEs, Natural taking out Sail, Dior taking out Natural, the trades are coming through, and it looks like the side of the Yen is going up, winning again with Deftones taking out Dior and Zero taking out Kylie.
That is an absolutely insane round for the Yen to win. Considering only one on the side of Natural drop there.
At some
getting rid
point,
of
we'll
all
have to
those
get the
guns
spike.
for Riyadh and picking them back up. The Econ is actually, instead of looking worse, looking amazing for Yen. Having money and guns picked up. With Natural and Zero having their ults, they could, like, even if they had lost that round, could have turned it around a lot here. Going to Econ level.
Get out of my way!
Sahil, no fear, pushing into A main, taking out Zero and Deftones, fighting further, taking out Specs, that's 3 down! That is a huge push. Nothing you would expect on the side of Yen. How would you expect a Neon to just do that? We've seen Sahil do these in previous games. Natural, getting the kill through Not Ethan, almost whipping it, missed. Spraying down, trying to make space, trying to get something here, trying to do as much damage as possible. Natural, looking to pick anyone on A main. I mean, we saw Sahil's hero play, we saw him get those kills, but the guns are still in the favor of Yen, and anything is possible. They do have Spike down though. How are Yen? Sahil getting a 4, taking out miss, making it seem impossible. Natural would have to go huge here. He'd have to take out each player on the side of Riyadh. I guess we'll see very shortly. Natural, known for these kinds of plays, especially on this map. Swings, shoots a hill, misses, decides better, knows he has time. He's gonna play off it, make sure no one's trying to flank him. Takes out Kylie! That's a huge kill! Natural, really taking his time here, making sure he can do as much damage as possible. Fights Sahil. Sahil getting the ace! An absolutely insane round on the side of Sahil. That A push was insane and no one could have expected it.
Gotta go!
Just a hill there, you can just see the mastery on that Neon. You see how comfortable he is with the stun. You're able to know that he's very well coordinated with GG Easy there for the dart to get those first 2 picks deep in main. To just know that he's able to keep that ult online after refreshing from those kills. Getting the third, kind of essentially in their spawn was very big. Got them a gun for his teammates. And he was able to kind of just keep going until he was able to find the last and secure the ace.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, to be fair to the side again, how often do you see a Neon just run it down A main? It's not something that happens pretty typically, and how do you combat that? What do you think they're talking about in this timeout here, Cruz? Do you think they're using this to try and hold their space and not let that sort of thing happen again in the future?
I think this is a point in the game where it's very important to you need a lead now, or else you're not going to be able to find one later. So I think they need to talk more about their positioning with one another. They kind of, for the last 2 or 3 rounds, they kind of run it down into tree, which has served them somewhat well, but it's kind of just been all solo plays, just from Natural's aim, and then just like small bits of util that they just use for themselves here and there. And he's kind of been more than teammates.
Absolutely right, and we're seeing that adjustment now. We're seeing that the side Yen are playing more together, letting Natural do his thing because he can get out pretty much for free if anything goes wrong. But it looks like the adjustment from Riyadh, they know that the mid is a pretty heavy area that they want to hold. They've got 3 towards A main. I mean, the Jet, Dior holding B main with the op. This is a very slow round. We're seeing a more disciplined sort of play that we have before, you know. Utility coming through mid, trying to spot out anything they can find. Not Ethan getting spotted out. Missed taking the fight on Dior, but thinking better of it and trying to survive. Again, playing their life, really defaulting, playing slow. And you need to on this map. And that's the adjustment Yen are making. They understand that if they keep slamming things, they're going to have similar rounds to what happened before. But Sahil says no and takes out Zero. Kylie taking out Natural. GG is taking out Specs. 3 players down on Yen. Sahil taking out Mist. It's down to Deftones. Can he pull off a 1v5? He is behind them. They wouldn't expect him to be here, but he needs to go huge. He needs to get multiple here. Takes out 1, takes out 2. Not a thing. Kylie falling. Deftones taking out 3. It's an insane fight. Paranoia coming through. Shadow Step taking him back into main. 14 seconds on the clock. Might not be able to win out the round, but can he take down Deal? Can he get that op out of his hand? Can he take out Sahil? Really damage the mental of the players left, but Sahil will get his 3rd, taking out Deftones. Insane round from both Sahil and Deftones. Deftones almost turning it back into the favor of Yen, but unfortunately not able to secure that 1v5.
Very well rounded try, essentially, from Deftones there. You're seeing 3 out of that 1v5. Very nice shooting. I think in that kind of mid aggression there, they were kind of a little bit lost on the side of Yen. They got into mid and they weren't able to act off of their space. They ended up just getting pinched from that Neon Stun and other util.
Taking this aggressive fight, B-Man again, getting scanned by Cyphercam though, forcing him back up. Sahil takes out Natural, first blood of the round. It's a huge pick. That default that we like to see Yen doing, taking that mid space, being able to get out as Natural, just being able to use his teleport to get out of a dangerous situation. Not allowed. Sahil punishing that push. Again, we're seeing Yen playing this default, very disciplined game. It can be quite difficult though. They're starting to lose these early fights. I mean, we've seen Sahil shutting them down on these earlier fights. And you see him push up in A main. It could really go either way, Deftones. And being able to take that space, it's going crazy. Deftones Specs having all of Tree. Oh, Riyadh aware of that. He swinging, takes out Specs. Deftones not able to get the trade. Sahil takes out Zero. In the favor currently of Riyadh. Sahil, no fear, swings remaining. Out. Not Ethan taking out Deftones. It's all left up to Mist. Nothing left to do but try and do some damage here. Really try and get some
30
fight.
seconds
Pushing
left.
Directly into the Cypher cam of not Ethan. Mist knows there's not much that can happen here. Might even try and save the rifle or just try and do some damage to the economy of Riyadh. Taking their time, pushing through B. Destroys cam, going for the plant here. Really just trying to get
left.
some money for the side of Yem. Not Ethan. Looking to capitalize off this. Takes out Mist, sprays the body a little bit. Clearly a lot of confidence on the side of Riyadh, trying to show that they're still here. They're still in this fight, and they're not willing to give up on the 13-1 on Corrode.
It's very strong, kind of... it's just already strong half. Even though it's only 5-3 and you're only down by 2, it's looking a lot better for Riyadh. They're looking a lot more coordinated, and they just know when the right time to push is. They're getting into those off angles, getting first bloods. Sahil getting that crucial kill onto Natural to start off the round. First in a couple seconds, just kind of set them up for success in the end there.
This goes here.
Absolutely right, Cruz. I mean, those early kills that we're seeing Riyadh getting, really making it super difficult to really just get that early space. Dior pushing past that Cyphercam, denying that utility, whether he was seen or not. Spotted out. Sahil taking the aggressive fight, hearing 3 mid, thinking better of it, but decides to swing out and catches Specs. Not Ethan taking out Natural. Sahil taking out Deftones. Sin taking out Ethan. Gonna get pushed up by Sahil. Zero wins out. Zero wins it out. Mist pushing onto side. getting that really important neural
Last
there,
player
giving the
standing.
information, taking out GGEs. It's a 2v1 all of a sudden. Dior stuck on site. Obviously, both players knowing where Dior is might decide to back out and take it towards A, which seems like that's what they're doing. Dior,
Blocking
just
sight.
careful, just in case one of them's lurking, one of them is waiting to catch Dior out on an awkward angle, taking his time, making sure to clear everything he can. Bomb is going down, missed,
Spike
landing it up,
planted.
and just waiting to see what happens. Looks like we're gonna get a double up towards Hell. Cypher cam broken, Cypher trip. Dior crouches under it, knows it's there, takes time, 0 and miss. Having to hold this, knows
Blocking sight.
that Dior is heaven. Smoke comes out,
One
goes
enemy
left.
remaining.
Dior clears right, Dior gets 2! Yeah, what a clutch! What an insane round from Dior, getting both with just jet knives, despite them knowing where he is.
Clutch.
Absolutely insane
that
from
hurts.
Dior there. I was
Everyone's
very
so
like,
heavy.
if I believe that if Yen came back into that round for a 2v5, I'm pretty sure that was, with just missed and 0, would have been very probably could have tanked a little bit on their mental, and just overall could have changed a little bit how the game's going. And now on a little bit of less money for the side of Yen, and the timeout coming from Riyadh is going to kind of probably called before that clutch. Is going to probably help make them adjust to stop the over-aggression they've kind of been showing the last 2-3 rounds.
You're absolutely right, Cruz. And I mean, just the ability for these players to be clutching it up. I mean, we saw in Corrode, they were struggling to find answers. They were struggling to find what they needed to be able to turn this around. But right now, after those first 3 rounds on the side of Yen, dominant. I mean, they were winning their attacks, but right now, Riyadh are not letting them get anything. And I guess this timeout is being used in order to just let them capitalize off of their current momentum, make sure they're not making the same mistakes, figure out what they're doing. I mean, you're seeing Sahil adjusting to their attacks in mid. Maybe on the other side, they're talking about holding that mid for a bit longer, punishing those aggressive plays that you mentioned. I guess we'll find out very soon. You think I'm right, Cruz, or do you think that this might take a different turn?
I think the way that that Riyadh has been playing is definitely working. I think
Here.
Yen hasn't been able to adjust. I think even if they were continuing what they've been doing, they can continue to win.
Absolutely, you're 100% right, Cruz, and we're going to see how this round plays out now. Sin Zero taking a fight up mid. GG jump spotting, trying to see if they're doing their aggressive mid play. Not finding it natural. Taking space 3, accidentally flashing the Sova drone, but it's all good. Kylie trying to get it, doesn't get it. Specs sprays through the smoke. Sahil not willing to let that happen. Trades 0 out. Deftones managing to catch timing. Sahil getting caught out by Natural. Dior taking out Mist. Not Ethan taking out Deftones. The trades are coming through. Currently a 3v2 on the side of
Last
them.
player standing.
Dior taking out Natural. Specs thinking better of it and trying to rotate. Caught out by the neural theft though. What's the plan here for Specs? I mean, 3 players know exactly where he's going. He's faked it out. He might try and go back A here. Trying to catch one, rotating through mid. Map's slowing down now. Everyone not willing to give up this round. A very critical round. Just trying to make sure they take what they can. Not Ethan. Holding A main. Both
30
Dior
seconds left.
and GG's, making sure nothing's coming through B main, waiting for the plant to come through. Will Specs spot out Not Ethan in this corner? He won't. Not Ethan will take out Specs, and it brings it to 7-3 on the side of Riyadh.
Something really does need to change, it seems, for that side of Yen, because it's not been working. It's now 5 rounds in a row, the side of Riyadh. It looked to be a very even game to start at that 3-3 point. It just seems that the old strat of kind of running it down one lane is just not working for Yen anymore. I'm curious to see if they adapt or not, especially with that Euro ult. They could kind of scout it out a little bit. They're probably going to get the orb for 0, so we can play knives.
Right, and the eco being in favor of Riyadh too. I mean, right now, the side of Yen have to probably sacrifice this round. We have seen them before though, being very good on these ecos. Like, they usually take out multiple people before they go down. We'll have to see how this round plays out. Determine the next one. They're able to get some kills in here, but it doesn't look like it. GG is taking out Natural. Deftones getting GG's, and Kylie getting a 3k. Not Ethan taking out 0. That round was over in seconds. I couldn't even
Last
cast it
round
properly.
before the switch.
Yeah, It's just kind of rough for Yan. They didn't clear out. Just did not clear out. Not Ethan and Logs there. I think he got 1 or 2, just off of poor clearing. It's very well thought out. Kind of defensive side from Riyadh so far. 8-3. As to whether they'll close it out at the half to get 9-3 is kind of anybody's game at the moment, because it looks like very relatively even econ going into this last round. Does seem to be a tech pause though, so we may have a little bit of stoppage for a second.
Absolutely, it looks like we've had a DC, but in the meantime, we can definitely talk about some of the interesting things. I mean, this round very important for the side of of Yen. I mean, if they can win this round, it's an 8-4 half, and it's not entirely losable. Like, it's very important to be able to play that defender side, and it could be very, very good for the side of Yen. If they can manage to pull this round, they could easily take the victory. Again, this map very defender sided. It's entirely possible that anything could go wrong for the side of Riyadh. But again, as Cruz has said, unfortunately, we've had a quick little DC. So we'll take a quick break and we'll come back as soon as we've got everyone back in the lobby. Welcome back, guys. We're back into this last round and a half. Looks like we've got all the players back into what's going on. We apologize for that little tech pause. Again, it's becoming pretty natural in the side of VCC OCE to have a bit of a tech pause.
Natural.
But yeah.
Very wise words.
Absolutely. Cruz, how do you see this next couple of rounds going? Do you think that this half will go in the favor of Yen, or will Riyadh be able to just pull this back in their favor?
Oh, I think Riyadh are definitely looking stronger at the moment. I think it'd be pretty surprising if they're unable to close this out at 9-3. But I would like to see Yen kind of claw back to get that fourth round for them. It's looking likely that it'll end up on like having a more advantageous side for Riyadh here, for them to kind of get that 9-3, look a bit strong going into their attacking half. It's not as strong.
Get out of my way!
You're absolutely right. And again, it really comes down to who's behind the defense. I mean, Sahil takes out Mist. Again, this A push, just unexpected, but Sahil managed. Not Ethan Dior taking out Deftones 0. And Natural trying to fight Sahil here. Sahil backing off though.
One enemy
Running
remaining.
out. Taken out by GG's. Spotting out Specs. The round goes in the favor of Riyadh. I wasn't even able to finish my sentence. That's how quick this round happened. I mean, that is
Switching
a
sides.
great outcome for the side of Riyadh. Being able to pull that 9-3 half, just so important. Cruz, how do you see this half going? Do you see Yen being able to pull off this defensive half? I mean, 3 rounds isn't a bad take from an attacker side.
Certainly not, but when you think about it, there's only 4 rounds separating Riyadh between them and winning this map. Sorry, going to their 3rd map. I think the Yen, certainly we know they're strong at defensive. We just need to, when you see if they're gonna be a little bit more aggressive than what they usually are, to be a little bit more desperate
This
at
goes
clawing
here.
back a round or two. If they lose this pistol, it's not looking great for them, I must say.
This pistol might decide the fate of the map. It's really important that Yen win this pistol. I mean, a good snowball for them.
I'm out of
It's the
here.
difference between a 9-3 and a 9-5, which 9-5 is a lot more easy to come back from than 9-3. We can't forget the 9-3 curse. Always so important in Valorant. But yeah, again, we're seeing some disciplined play coming from both sides. You're gathering information, taking these defaults. Bit of an awkward situation on the side of Riyadh here, though, having their main duelist with a spike, but think better of it and drop the spike to Kylie and taking the space tree. Again, no presence in tree from the side of Yen. Just willing to fight for A main. The paranoia comes through. Zero gets stunned by the relay bolt. And Deftones takes out Sahil in a round that GG's takes out Zero. This is insane. These fights are coming through. It looks like most... Dior taking out 2. Deftones getting 3. Not Ethan trading out Deftones. I could barely finish the sentence without someone dying. Missed. Taking the
Spike
fight.
planted.
It's a 2v1. 2v1 here.
One enemy remaining.
Fighting. Taking out Kylie. Not Ethan. Stuck in a bit of an awkward situation. Spike down. Waiting for it. Missed. Not being able to get the kill. Not Ethan taking out Missed. Bringing it to 10-3 on the side of Riyadh. This is an insane outcome for the side of Riyadh. A 10-3 half. Utterly dominating.
Looking absolutely amazing for Riyadh here. We need to consider again, this is Yen's map pick. So this should have been a map that they presumably would have been more prepared for. Being down 10-3 at just after half time. They are also opting to continue to not force have a better outcome going to round 3 of this half.
Take flight.
Yeah, looking to clear A main here. They're trying to deny any aggressive play using this Sober drone to get all the way through 1.
I'm out of here.
It looks
We're
like
good.
Reed is here from the side of Yen. 4 players towards the side of A. Sahil taking space, clearing close, not clearing out Zero, but not Ethan and Dior getting a kill at the exact same time, making this very difficult for the side of Yen to be able to take back.
Take
Agility
this.
coming through. Sahil having all of heaven,
Get wrecked.
stunning and taking out Specs. Relay Bolt coming in clutch in that moment. 3 players from Riyadh holding tree. It looks like they're aware. They know that there's 2 holding a crossfire. Missed.
Player standing.
Taking the fight, taking out Sahil. Sahil taking Natural and Dior trading out Miss, bringing it to an 11-3 round from the side of Riyadh.
11-3 may, it's very difficult to come back from this. We've seen it happen, not quite in this tournament, but you think of this scoreline, you definitely go to lock in. Certainly this Yen team is not Fnatic, but they definitely are a talented team. They could try claw this back
Yes,
to
this
a
should do.
more favorable outcome than what it has been so far.
Absolutely. I mean, Yen having rifles now, able to turn this in their favor. Cyphercam's trading up. Both getting broken. Hill caught by the Sober shotgun. It's Natural taking out Sahil. Looks like it's going in the favor currently of the side of Yen. Space taking out Dior with a shock dart. Missed. Holding that close angle. Looks like Riyadh are thinking better of it. Trying to back off. Trying to find something mid. With 2 players from the side of Yen really just holding that space, making sure they can't rotate through here. What are Riyadh going to do here? What kind of adjustments are they going to make? GG's scanned by the server drone. Kylie picking up 0. Missed. Not willing to back off of that smoke. Holding that space. Trying to push in. Deftones taking out not Ethan. GGE is taking out Deftones. Suddenly it's a 3v2. Could go either way here. Specs taking out GGE's. 3v1. Looking not so great. And Mist taking out Kylie. It takes it into 11-4 on the side of Yen.
Very needed round for the Yenas going up there. If they lose that, then that's pretty much a game over. Now, going to this gun round, Zero will not have enough to buy a rifle with his teammates. Still being 5 points off of those Bladestorm. It's going to be a little bit of a harder spot. I think he will get a buy to have 5 rifles to the side of Yen, 4 rifles and a machine gun for the side of Riyadh going into a 5-man A push.
Absolutely right. No, what he can get here. Doesn't manage to get anything, but gets out for free. That's the power of Yo. But an A side completely open for Riyadh. It's been so difficult for Yen to be able to retake this here. Deftones coming on that fast flank, taking that space, probably able to TP past this chamber. Sorry, this this cypher trip here. It looks like they are committing to this retake. 5v5. What's going to happen here? Dior placed in main. Most plays upside. Sahil getting 2. Taking out Mist and Natural. Sit 0. Trading out Sahil. Currently 3v4 on the side of Riyadh. 0. Taking his time. Specs trying to break this. Gets traded out by Dior and not Ethan. 2 down. 1v4. Sin 0 takes out 1 but gets taken out by Kylie. It is not looking good for the side of Yen here with a 12-4 half in the side of Riyadh.
Match point.
Top 4 now is very good. This is a crazy bounce back from that 13-1 loss for Riyadh. Great mental kind of pushback. Being able to get to this 12-4 scoreline on the opposition's map pick is very well a show of their just being able to push back and be down but not out. You know, it's I think they've been doing very well in their position at the moment.
Absolutely, and it all comes down to this first fight. Miss taking out Dior, really giving them that advantage. No skill ability to take a side now, apart from Sahil. It all comes down to him, whether he can get that opening pick or not. It looks like the side of Riyadh sort of looking more towards mid here. Deftones trying to take a fight with a sheriff, getting tagged for 140 damage from the side of Sahil. Sahil trying to capitalize off that, not letting him Deftones get away here. Comes blind through the Omen Paranoia, scanned by Sova. Looks like Natural has all of A main. They know that it's gonna come. Natural taking out not Ethan, trying to hold this space towards Tree. Not able to really get anything, trying to come back A main. Again, the side of Riyadh just taking their time, knowing that they've got the rounds in their favor and they don't need to force anything here. They can be calm, they can be quiet. Kylie getting scanned by Sovadar, taking some time, re-hitting Tree, jump peeking, missed. Trying to get space mid, gets scanned by Sovadar, dodges it though. Being able to potentially catch a very important timing. Deftones not backing off here.
30 seconds left.
Sale taking on to Asa, getting on all, knowing that there's no one there. Plan comes out, Sin 0 spamming through. Heaven trying to get someone bottom side. Spike goes down, GGE's. Pushing up, trying to get the drone. Natural, aiming, spams through, shoots Sahil. Takes his timing, waits for his team, puts that pressure on. Deftones just holding close, making sure no one tries to push out. Missed, taking Heaven control. So now comes through, scans no one. Kylie gets 2, GGE's gets 1, Kylie gets 3, and GGE's kills Mist in order to get the final kill, which succeeds and wins them the round. And it looks like we're going on to the 3rd map, which is going to be Haven. What are you thinking so far, Cruz? How do you think Haven's gonna go?
I think Haven is. I'm not sure. I haven't seen these guys play Haven. I've not seen either of them play it. I'm wanted to see if they're gonna play a more default comp or if they're gonna pull out something like they did on Ascent here over more double duelist aggression comp. For that last round there, I don't think that Yena's going up played that very well as they should have. It was a 5 versus 2. Ended up with the last 2 players clutching it up and both living there. All 5 of those Yena's going up players seem to have just been swinging and kind of hoping to have gotten their one. I think that it was also that game was just very well played by Riyadh. 13-4 and not their map pick after being 13-1 is definitely a difficult task.
You're absolutely right, Cruz. And I mean, both of these teams, this round, this map, the next map that's coming up is so critical to both of them being able to make it through to the playoffs and show that they're good teams, show that they're here to win it for the OCE tournament. I mean, it's so important. The team who loses this will be in the 3-3 bracket. 1 round from elimination, 1 round from playoffs. It's going to be impossible to see. I mean, they both want this win so bad, and we saw it on Corrode. Yen taking that 13-1. Riyadh answering back, taking the 13-4. Both teams showing dominance on both maps. It's just hard to tell who's going to come out of this on top. Unfortunately for me, I'm not going to be able to see the end result of this map myself, Crawlers. I have to leave. I've got my own team to play for here, and I've got to get ready for my game coming up. But yeah, it's just going to be very interesting to see, and I wish best of luck to both teams. We'll be moving on to map 3 soon, where you have Sir Banana and Cruz as your casters for this game, seeing how these two teams who have currently gone head-to-head and you know, answered tit for tat, everything that's happening each game, they're answering each other, they're coming up with creative solutions to beat each other out, and the last map will be crucial for both teams. So until then, hopefully you guys have enjoyed so far, and I look forward to seeing what happens in the third map. Cruz, have you got any finishing statements before we go for the quick break?
All I want to say is I am, like you said, I'm very excited to see how this will end up going, and simply anybody's game from this point out. That's all I have to say. Welcome back to VCC OCE. We're going into our map 3 of Yen is going up versus Riyadh onto Haven. We're going to have Yen is going up on the defensive side, coming off of one big game for Riyadh to win, doing 13-4 victory, bouncing back from the 13-1 loss on Corrode. It was a very big showing, very surprising. So I think they've done very well to kind of come back from a loss on their own map pick to have really big win on the opposing pick. Going to Haven could be anybody's game. This is the only way that a qualification for playoffs game could have really gone. This 3-map series. What do you have to say about this, Banana?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely the series of all time to be watching. A very dominant victory from both teams on their opponent's map picks at that as well. The 13-1 to start off the game with Riyadh's map pick in the favor of Yen, and a 13-4 in the favor of Riyadh on Yen's map pick. So you'll have to wonder what is going wrong in terms of the planning and how the deciding map that neither team in particular has decided on will prove to favor. Looks like the players are just about ready, so I think we will be heading into the Agent Select. What do you think we're going to be seeing on Haven?
I think we'll certainly not be seeing anything usual. Going into Ascent there, we saw double duelists on both sides. And one of those duelists on both sides being pretty unorthodox. Having a Neon and a Yori there. I'm expecting to see an ISO or so. Oh, and we already have seen an ISO come out from 0. And Natural on the Neon, which is, a pretty big comfort agent of his.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen him play that, well, we saw him play the Yoru on the first 2, so switching to the Neon now, we'll have to see how he manipulates the space-taking ability of the Neon in comparison to that Yoru.
Yeah, certainly. It's a very different agent with that kit. You have, like, the wall and that stun, you have a lot more kind of space-taking opportunities, clearing out things more individually, being able to create better timings with the run. I think it's a very different approach for him to be taking. Maybe throw off Riyadh a little bit. Possibly a chamber from Mist would be very cool to see. And maybe even a Clove from Deftones would be amazing. A more overall comp is just possibly what could be happening for the side of Yen. But probably opting for the safer pick of the Omen.
Yeah, well, I mean, that first couple rounds on Ascent there actually did work in the favor of Yen, where they did use their aggro comp to quickly take that space. But then the moment Riyadh came up with answers to that, they had nothing left to show.
Yeah, I think now with all the comps locked in, the double duelist on the side of Yen is going up, and the Sova, Cypher, Omen pretty default, and then we go to Riyadh, see the single duelist of Sahil being Jet, and then we have the double initiator of the Sova Breach, and then we have the regular Omen Cypher. I think for starting on defense, it's going to be a lot harder for Yena's going up to take, to kind of hold, considering they're playing that more aggressive double duelist. They should get more aggressive on this defensive side than what is usually anticipated.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I don't think there's any reason to doubt the single duelist of Sahil here, considering what he pulled off with that Neon last game on Ascent.
He had that ace, which was absolutely phenomenal. He had that just perfect movement into the amazing aim. He's a very big player to keep your eyes on when going into this series here. Speaking of which, Mr. Take first blood out of the grass. So really wants that trade. Will find it. Kylie will get Deftones. She is in B. Riyadh seems to have the entirety of C site with the lurker falling in Link to the Specs front B. We have flanker in natural, which could be suspected by not Ethan. The fight comes
Last
out.
player standing.
Big whiff from natural. It's very unfortunate. Hard. It's a bit tough loss from Specs. He has essentially full util, full health, and that ghost. Certainly doable, but it's definitely a lot harder for him to complete this task. Not Ethan spots him out. Takes 2 ticks of damage. He's getting run down by those 2 players. We'll have that flanker coming from link.
A fine death.
Catches not Ethan. Will he be able to find
One
Dior?
enemy remaining.
He will find Dior, but does not have enough time to get found out by Sahil. And that's round 1 going to Riyadh.
Yeah, what crazy space taking from Sahil there. No fear whatsoever. The moment his teammate gets put down by the opposing Cypher, he dashes through, jumps through the Cypher cage, and gets that pick, taking all of that garage and C space. It's incredible to watch that man run it down and find those kills.
I think he has very controlled chaos. He knows that getting the trade is the most important thing to do. If he's letting them get away with a 1, then that is going to turn the tide into that round so differently. Now Sahil is going to be scaling down that alongside Dior on that breach, getting onto site relatively easily, dodging the Sova drone. Sorry, Sova Dart, taking complete space. Getting a little bit too aggressive, get found out by the 2 players. Dior holding onto that gun. Dior will find the trade before his shield gets broken. 4v3 here, it's looking doable but very difficult. GG Easy will find death zones.
Last player standing.
Dior will find GG Easy and not Ethan will get a trade.
1 enemy remaining.
Very well played by the side of the Yenos going up, getting 4. Knocking down a lot of Stingers and Guardians to complete that Eco-Rupt.
Yeah, I mean, look, it is a round win for the side of Riyadh, but having 4 guns taken out of your hands there will hurt going into this round, where no ults are going to come online either. It is just the Deagles and the Save the Guardian from that round that will be their win con.
Yeah, I think going up against now the 5 rifles is going to be very difficult, but certainly not impossible. I think playing it all right, they should be able to get some damage done, and some bad peaks like that one just happened from Deftones will definitely now feed them a gun for Sahil. Still at full HP, 150, pushing to miss, who is solo, getting pinched, 3 from Garage, 1 from Long. Kylie now with that lurk in B, will get find the farm. Cancel the farm.
1 enemy
Being
remaining.
traded out. And this is now 4v1 for Specs on the Yenos
Spike
going
planted.
up by round. This is definitely not an ideal position for them to be in at this moment. He's going into Garage as a thought. Should go for the knife. Nope, he's just gonna stare. Nope. He'll get the pick onto Kylie. They all know where he is now. Unfortunate timing on that dart there. It's double swung. That is a huge rounds to win for Riyadh right there.
Yeah, the bonus conversion for the side of Riyadh here is going to put a severe damper on the economy again. We can see that they've been opting for those retake situations rather than holding the site, which I believe to have been their downfall. Both on A and C, they've tried to rely on their retakes for these round wins, but it just has not worked out for them. So we'll have to see what sort of ideas they come up with to try and prevent that from happening again.
Going into round 4 here is an eco round for Yen. It's going to be more of an A to mid heavy push. Kind of natural spotted out with that Bucky is unfortunately going to be cleared out, and they're going to have an early rotate coming out from Deftones. Will pick him up. A players have now all fallen, just the last 2 left on the flank.
Spike planted.
Both have a sheriff. They're aware of the now flankers. They're not sure if it's just the 1 or 2
My ult is ready.
Last player
Easy
standing.
will fall. Not Ethan will get missed, and the 0 will get not Ethan on the trade. Will he hear the updraft? I believe he should. And know that Sahil is up on top of the box. big shots from Zero right here. Definitely doable. 1v2 is 70 HP, still 2-tap, which is 100% something he could work with. But will fall to Kylie off the swing. Very close. Seems like Yen do better on their kind of eco rounds with the Sheriffs. Just unable to close them out though. Early timeout from only on round 5 now from the Yenas going up from Glitch Goal.
I mean, I'd be timing out here too. 0-4 is not a good scoreline. Even though it is the defensive side of Haven that they're on, which is a notoriously attacker-sided map, you do not want to see the 0-4 scoreline. Now that round, you can see that they did try and push up for that space more, went for a flank as well, but I think it just was the gun diff that made all of the difference there. Even despite that, Zero manages to get 3 with that deagle there, bringing the kill contract online, as well as a couple of other ults coming online, so we'll have to see what Yen cook up for this buy round to try and turn the tides back in their favor.
Yeah, I think they certainly knew they need to switch something up. Their retakey kind of positioning is just, it doesn't seem to be working for them in the way that when they seem to give up the site, they're unable to kind of take it back, just losing one by one on the picks, and then going into just a round loss. I think they need to rotate probably a little bit faster, as Riyadh do seem to commit rather than rotate a bit faster. Kylie is going to try chuck a long smoke to fake presence A, which will draw Deftones a smoke for short.
Cover going out.
Natural, overwhelmed by the pressure of the smoke, opts to fall off of long into backside to double up with Deftones. Kylie going to clear out window. There is 3 people on the side of Riyadh going towards C long, which is a completely free site. 4 people have grouped up towards A off of a single smoke. This is not looking ideal. Now the exec will come out C, and I believe Mist should be able to hear this a little bit. The plant coming down, fully coming out. Specs will find a kill onto GG Easy with the Hunter's Fury. And Zero will miss on the kill contract. Natural will find the hill. This is looking well. 3v4. We don't suspect the guy in garage. They will, but not. They are unable to clear it out. The tag onto the diffuser. Outed on. Dior, very low in cubby. Probably unable to hold as well as
One enemy remaining. Last player
Zero,
standing.
1v1 here. Is scammed, and not Ethan will get that one tap through the smoke off the recon.
In all worlds, that should have been a Yen defuse there. Just the ults coming out from every single player almost. Felt like. They just managed to find those trades, get them in their favor. The util, absolutely superb from the side of Riyadh. The flashpoint, as well as the Hunter's Fury and the Recon darts coming through, not allowing Yen any solace in the defuse. So go into this round, missing their Hunter's Fury and full contract.
Yeah, that was a very crucial round they needed to win. Getting out of 2 ults there. One of them being utterly kind of just useless there. It's not looking very good. Now going into kind of a 4/off by the side of Yen with a Sheriff, Guardian, Judge, and 2 Vandals. Natural will get some damage for Zero to trade on, but then he'll get traded out by not Ethan. Attempting to start the retake from TT, who have all 3 remaining Yen members.
Here.
It's looking very rough for them. Might be best for Specs to maybe even save his rifle if that's something they are. Yes, it looks like Specs will save his rifle. The other 2 will try and make an attempt to try and get rid of any guns they can, but they will be unsuccessful as they all retreat back towards their spawn. Sorry, Mist will collect 1 onto Dior, which is a huge pick. Those 2 players will fall, and Specs should be able to save his rifle.
Yeah. This is looking really coordinated from the side of Riyadh at the moment. Again, Yen opting for their retake, but by the time the retake's coming through, their flank players were already shut down. And then, as soon as they try to exec through that small choke in a link, just the piles and piles of util from Riyadh, the paranoia, the aftershock, the shock darts, all coming through, stalling the exec till there's no time left.
Yeah, I think the way that Yen is playing is really not what they should be,
Here.
considering their skill. Insane util coordination there from the breach flash. Still will get one.
Gotta go.
Mist will trade him out, and GG Easy will then trade out Sahil for Mist. They've slowed down the round a little bit though. This plan will come out and see.
Spike
Will
plant.
suspect the lurk in the grass with Kylie.
I'm out of here.
Natural kind of movement thing that will get the pick. 3v2, this is definitely doable.
Take
Health
this.
is a lot better on the side of Yen here. But that cypher trip right outside garage there. Will do them a little bit of an issue. The shot ball will destroy that.
Last player
Natural
standing.
get one.
Go, go, go.
Unsure of the information will then fall from not Ethan as a 7th round is picked up by Riyadh.
Yeah, just cannot convert those trades there. Riyadh just managed to pick up those in the garage area, and then just playing man advantage for the rest of the round.
I think the way that Yen are playing, I think they should coordinate a little bit more, push the way that their comp is a lot more specializes in.
Yeah. However, they do have the overdrive rule effect and from the Shadows online this round. As we can see them running into spawn now, Natural with his overdrive.
Running low.
Natural is quite literally in their spawn. His overdrive runs out before even seeing anyone. Kylie will fall, seeing at least 3 members of the Yens going up. All of them opting to go towards long. Mist will get a huge pick onto Dior, so he'll get one more trade onto Mist. And Natural gets on and gets GG.
One enemy remaining.
Finds not even. This could be big. And a round win from the Yenis going up. Very needed.
Round from Yen. I mean, they were on an eco there, and they managed to convert that round, making it 7-1. What a crucial round.
Thrifty. Go, go, go.
They have no guns. They just ran it all the way down flank. It was all 5 of them, I'm pretty sure. They just ran it through. They would, Kylie tries to smoke them off through that choke, but just the smoke doesn't bloom in time, and so Kylie is shut down, the rifle is taken, and they deathball it down into the A side. And there is nothing that Riyadh could do to shut that down.
Yeah, certainly not. The way they played, they popped that overdrive, but they just never had the opportunity to use it. They still were able to get a gun off of Kylie for them, Natural, to get a pick or two. Not even should hear that op from Natural. And probably come from they should not go towards it. So he'll somehow save his life, but big trades coming out here as a side of the Yen is going up will come out favored here as 4 versus 2 going into here. There is 2 coming up of long. Kylie will TP up to try to secure
Last
space.
player standing.
This catches shooting for the trip, and that turns a swing to get that last kill. Huge one for it's unable to find that trip. It's kind of cost their life. Huge round for the Yenis going up to win. This is looking a lot better from them. Winning 2 rounds in a row.
Yeah, the macro was really nice there from Yen. They had the op set up with Natural on the A side of the map, and after not seeing anyone, he fires the shot to try and wallbang in mid-window, and that completely sends the rest of Riyadh over to the other side of the map. They read them completely well and had the stack to back it up.
No distraction.
An unfortunate miss on that op there. Zero will have his kill contract and the double tap popped. He will get Sahil in that kill contract there. to then kind of scare away Riyadh towards grass. When Mist is in seed lobby, very pushed up. His cam will unfortunately not spot any deeper, but 4 players left of Riyadh was seen to go towards B, possibly using that Rolling Thunder to exec onto the site, which if they do will not get any value, as there is no one on B. This will get spotted out by Kylie. And that util is not being kind of followed up. Natural, we get Kylie close range with that op. The plant is attempting to go down, but there's just too much pressure. They're unable to. Deftones gets one. Last few spotted out backside. Natural, picked up
One
a phantom.
enemy remaining.
Last, not Ethan with the spike opts to try and stay back to fight. His best opportunity is to try and get a pick, so this
30 seconds
a
left.
lot easier. He's spotted out. He will get Natural, but that's about it. Specs will trade him out almost instantly. I don't believe that op is recoverable though, which is a big loss for Yen.
Yeah. I mean, we're starting to see a new side of Yen here. They're making those retake strategies actually work. They had Mist pushed all the way up C flank, then another 2 members push up the A flank, and then just pinched for the retake. The 3 men actually got the value there, shutting them down, and making not Ethan just run away there for his life, and unfortunately he was only able to get a 1-for-1 trade, bring it to a 3-7 scoreline.
Revealing
in
area.
favor of Riyadh.
Get out of my way! Go, go, go!
Round will kick off here. It's a fast A exec. Natural will refire the op. Forced out on the site. It's a hill shut down by Specs. Already rotated over 2. They are running away. All 4 players of Riyadh are running away. Dior will get Specs off of his drone, I believe. Which is big. The Neural Theft will now come out, as they will now know. 4 players of Riyadh are going towards C. Teams are double back. Natural. Big collateral. Gets 2 players out of the game. This is now 2v4 out of that 4v4 from before.
I'm out of here!
He's trying to make pressure for
Go, go, go!
Zero to maybe get the timing.
One
He goes out
enemy
to lobby.
remaining.
Nice shot from Natural there onto not Ethan.
My ult's ready!
As Deftones will now fall to Kylie. Kylie trying to avoid the pinch. Have one last one to do it and 1 player A. She'll fall to Mist, and that's 7-4 scoreline.
Last round
Yeah.
before the switch.
Again, really, really well played on the side of Yen there. The Neural Theft being the MVP of that round, revealing the
Oh, yes.
rotate, allowing both Natural to push up A and the rest of the team to rotate this to C.
there.
Riyadh thought they had a better
Here.
read in turning back, but Natural just takes that space so perfectly, finding the collateral.
Yeah, very well played by him. Going into this now, final round of the half. Seems to be a Deftones on the op now instead of Natural. No, sorry, both of them are opping. He'll now take the orb as Sahil is sitting outside B main. They're kind of playing a slow approach, knowing that Yen like to play more aggressive to win their last 4 rounds. Just kind of holding back to see whether they get too aggressive or not. The drone shot out from that cubby. They're aware of someone being there. That's about it. Seems to be a DX that should be a free kill for Specs. Yep. Not Ethan. Unable to trade. Hunter's Fury will come out from him.
Standing ahead. There they are.
Combo comes out. It should get 1 or 2 points down. Huge kills from Zero. Get 2 in window.
One enemy
Trade from
remaining.
window. No, the last guy being
My ult is ready.
Specs tags him 80 off of that Hunter's Fury. And now he's
Revealing
aware and
area.
going towards C with that spike.
30 seconds left.
Plant will go down, but they
Spike
seem to
planted.
double up in towards Garage here. Is not Ethan aware? Kind of playing across. They think he'll get aggressive, but that's not his plan. Going up towards Logs, he wants to kind of single out a fight from CT. He will be hidden from the dart. They probably assume he's playing towards long until he swings out into it. Double swing will
One
come out.
enemy remaining.
Gets 1. Unable to find the second. Specs. Big kill.
3Ks from both Sovas on either side there. Would have gone either way. I mean,
It's great for them though.
is
A
over.
7-0 lead into a 7-5 recovery is just amazing.
yes,
Like,
definitely.
not cracking
Switching
there
sides.
and going to be able to make that is just huge for them. I believe we're gonna have a tech pause here as Natural seems to disconnect from the match. So we may have a small, small little delay off of that.
Alright, we will be back with you very shortly. Stay tuned for the second half of the final game in this series.
And welcome back. We have the second half of Haven here from Riyadh versus Yena's going up 7-5. Riyadh is up here on Haven, coming out of a tech pause. This is anyone's game still. This is pretty much an even scoreline at the point. I think that it's, as I said, it's kind of unable to tell who will come out victorious off this. It's going to be a very competitive half, as the winner of this, reminder, will qualify to playoffs.
Yeah. So, very high stakes game coming out here. This pistol round may prove to be pivotal in the start of this half here.
And we have, is that 3 grouped out outside of RYH? Kylie will find all 3, as 0 will only find not Ethan. Last 2 players of the Yenas going up are outside C long. 2 versus 5. Very, very rough spot for the first, not even 20 seconds of this round. Seem to be flooding out of spawn here. All of them. Oh, sorry. Kylie will double back into mid to try and cut off of a rotate. as the last 3 players will sit towards C. Kylie in towards window. Sahil trying to peek.
Here.
Unfortunately, will miss the timing onto missed. Sahil will break that cam. And misses very, very low. GG easy. Gets his own cam out to try and tag missed, which is making things easier for Sahil. Spams will be
30 seconds
unsuccessful.
left.
Will Mist be ready for this? He will. Big kill. 25 seconds left in this round.
Take flight.
They kind of have to commit to this. GG easy being spotted out, and so will
Last player
so
standing.
will Dior. And there they go. Both 2 players on site will find 1 pick to close out the round.
And with that, the side of Yen have been double pistoled. Very unfortunate, and it will bring it to 5-8. Yes. So, since Yen will have to work very hard to bring this back. This is an attacker-sided map, so you do expect to see this sort of scoreline at the halfway point. But it still has to have an effect on their mental. They will have to work hard on this eco to try and push through. Possibly secure a Thrifty here.
Thrifty here would be absolutely, it'd be amazing for this scoreline. Coming up, we have 5 classics, 0 having those light shields against 2 pistols, 2 rifles, and a Spectre. It's going to be very difficult. We have all 5 players grouped up in that short, going against the 2 in back sight here. Catching 1 on Dior, they are aware of 2 players in CT.
Spike planted.
Not even left at 19 HP on that Bulldog. Gets the dart up. Sahil will get 1.
One enemy remaining.
Unfortunately getting a whiff. And there goes our round. Killing 2 is amazing for the eco, and not quite what they were anticipating, not quite what they were hoping. But 2 and the spike plant is amazing for them.
Spike the key.
5-9 at the half year. We go into the bonus round for Riyadh, and the buy round for the side of Yenis going up.
Go, go, go!
Looking towards more of a mid default, with the Cypher towards A lobby and Suva C long. But Riyadh might have read them perfectly. They have all 5 towards that mid angle. So looking like this could be a fight head on.
Yeah, but the guns are now in the favor of Yen, so we should hopefully see them play distance here, hopefully find a foot, and not get shut down by these close range weapons.
Shadows traveling.
Will they be aware of Kylie and the judge though? Yes, they will. Zero will catch her out. And Sahil, with the Spectre left up there in window, unable to find one as they back off, seeming to regroup towards A, as Mist has taken up all that space. Only
Gun
one
here.
kind of aware is Dior going towards Heaven, which has been smoked off now, as they will now exec onto the site easily. With absolutely
Spike
no
planted.
competition. Mist finds GG easy. He will probably not be able to find anyone else. But a 3v5 retake is going to be very difficult for the side of Riyadh right now.
One enemy
This
remaining.
one more, 2 more. Dior, 1v4 with a Bulldog. Blue and Specs, no he won't. Specs will close out the round at a 6-9 half. 6-9, sorry, after that.
Mist doing really well there. Control the Phantom Spray, finding 3 in that round, making sure minimal damage will go onto them on their buy round, and making sure that for the second time this game they would not get bonus.
He had amazing positioning right there to even get up into, essentially into CT without being seen. He just had the entirety of that site for free. He was able to call his teammates to come over. Right, we'll start. Kylie, 2 huge one-taps. It's on Deftones and Natural. That is essentially the entry and the smokes. Zero hunting for a trade. Unable to find it. We'll get shut down by Sahil. 5v2 within the first 10 seconds is very, very difficult. As Mist is now again up A. Specs his knife out, running towards him. Dior will be able to hear him. Dior is aware of the
Player
possibility.
standing.
And
Flawless.
big spray lands onto both Mist and Specs.
Absolutely crazy early
Come
fights
amp,
taken
let's
here
go.
from the side
got
of
things to do.
Riyadh. With Kylie taking that off angle on top of backside on B, just finding 2 1-taps in a row, absolutely unheard of. And then ends up coming through from Dior as well on the A side after using the flashpoint. It is just gunplay at its finest coming through for the members of Riyadh. And I think that Yen should be scared if that's the level that Riyadh is going to be playing the rest of this game. I am very scared for Yen's chances.
Yeah, certainly, especially now. They're going heavy towards A, 4 down long, and Cypher there down short possibly. 4 rifles and Stinger on. Oh no, it's not looking
Spike
good.
down
2
A.
for 1
One
trade,
enemy remaining.
4 for 1. Now Mist with the Stinger left. Not going to be able to do much against 4 rifles left inside of Riyadh. Just trying to play for Exus it seems. As Spike is trying to backside and no Vandals are able to recover. We'll find Sahil, but I don't think he should be able to find much more here.
Only a Stinger in hand, 29 HP.
Seems to be dragging the round out just to kind of see if anyone's going to get too aggressive so he can knock down another gun.
Members of Riyadh playing nice and slow here, not wanting to give up any more rifles. Though Mist does already have that neural theft online, so they wouldn't be afraid of giving him ult points at this point in time.
30 seconds left.
Kylie seems to be getting a little bit restless. Will fall.
Page triggered.
Mist probably will just... He's going for it! 29 HP, 15 seconds, 1v2, does not have Spike. I'm not a little bit sure as for what
10
the
seconds
reasoning
left.
behind that neural theft was, but he will fall to the shock.
Yeah, and that just shows good team comms. They knew that he was on such low health there, able to be taken out by a simple shock dart. And yeah, I think
That's timeout.
I think you are
Sorry.
asking the right questions there. Why that neural theft was invested. Mist
Yeah, and
saw
now-
something there that apparently the rest of them might not have.
Seems so. He really thought that was definitely doable, but going from a 1v4, I believe, to a 1v2 is definitely good work there. For him to have taken down 2 rifles is very well damaging their eco with just that Stinger. Now going into a timeout called by Zero. This is definitely the need to win the next at least 2 or 3 rounds to still be contenders for this game.
Yeah, so 6-11 scoreline. They are 2 rounds away from being knocked into the 3-3 bracket. They're going to have to work hard here. They will be on a bye this round, but they will also have to make the most of it, and perhaps as well the kill contract that they have online.
Yeah, that kill contract could definitely do numbers if they take out the right people on the right side exec. Then this could definitely be a round defying ult there.
Yeah, sorry, let me amend my statement from before. This is not a full buy coming in from the side of Yen here. We have 2 Deagles, a Classic, and 2 Rifles here. It is a forced buy.
Shocking!
With Zero keeping his Classic, even though he will have that kill contract, opting not to give him a rifle to try and get the kill. Instead, never mind, Natural will toss him a
rifle
gun.
is handed over.
I assume they're going to lean towards C to try and get that ISO ult down. If they're able to take that Cypher, this is definitely a doable round.
Very dangerous jump
just
peek
waiting.
here for GG Easy though. That ult is very spammable. And as I say it, he is taken out.
Cover going out.
That is very big.
you and
Kylie
me.
finds 1 before being taken into that ISO ult. They get taken down by Zero. And the site is opened up. Are they aware of Mist and their flank?
Blocking sight.
Dior is. No, they're
Spike
not.
planted.
Just
Last
takes
player
down Dior.
standing.
1v3, and Sahel is unable to complete it. That is a big, necessary round for the attackers to take.
Yeah, and bringing the score back to 7-11, only 4 rounds away from equalising this game. The lockdown being invested and being the reason they managed to get onto site there, as well as the very good warbang coming in. I am not sure who secured the kill, but it was pivotal for
I
their
believe that
entry
was
in that round.
Deftones. Which is very, very big pick from him. Now, 3-person take towards A seems to be under the cards. Natural fully down long with Deftones, Deftones and Zero towards grass. It'll be late probably to take the spike and regroup with the team.
Here.
So he'll trying to get as much info without being taken down as possible. Will find Mist. Natural decides to abort the entry off the fast lane there and shift towards C, where it'll be just GG easy. Sound will be noted. GG easy, unable to figure out one target and just gets taken down. They're aware of not Ethan and his Odin in spawn, not able to take him out. This is now 4v3, looking very good for Yan.
No cat.
One enemy remaining.
0, very big picks. Not sure about where Dior is. He might have to save this, his econ is not looking very well. This might be what's best for the cards.
He does have the Rolling Thunder online. He may go for a similar hero play as the Cypher of Yen did 2 rounds ago. But perhaps sees the
Opting to back
value of
off.
his Vandal.
And another huge round for Yen to win, leaving 4 alive, which is very, very big. If Specs is able to even make this timing, it's huge. He is. As soon as Dior is turning away, that was very unfortunate for him, but they're able to get rid of that last gun. I believe Yen now have the gun advantage, as some of them will not have full shields and need to hit sheriffs. Timeout coming out from the side of Riyadh here. Need to talk about what has happened. They've lost those last 2 rounds, which if they won those, this is game over.
Yeah, they still have an advantage of 3 rounds here, so a timeout is not 100% necessary, but probably good to stop the momentum of the side of Yen. Probably thinking about how to best utilize the ults that they've just had come online, the Neural Theft, Rolling Thunder, and Blade Storm, and perhaps get a anti-strat ready for the Overdrive, Hunter's Fury, and From the Shadows coming in from the side of Yen.
Riyadh definitely are able to play a little bit more aggressive if they really felt like it. That the Blade Storm can be deadly, but I don't think they'll end up using it. I believe Sahil will buy a rifle, but they also could just end up using that Rolling Thunder on the offensive instead of a retake, which could definitely be devastating for the side of Yen if that ends up happening. It seems to be more of a default for Yen here, as 2 will go towards C-Long, 1 window, sorry, other 3 go toward A lobby.
Yeah, we can see that
They might.
Riyadh are forcing this buyout here.
Yeah.
Rifles and a Stinger.
Yes, it's still a strong force for them. They're able to get 3 rifles and have full shields and another rifle with lights. Unfortunately, they will not be able to get all rifles having a Stinger, but Stinger can still pack a punch if used at the right distance. You can see they're trying to use the Stinger in Garage. Sahil trying to take contact, unable to find one. Natural's holding for the push. So comes dash. He's rewarded for the peek onto Natural, which is a very big kill. A lot of value is found from that. That's the Neon, that's the Overdrive that's gone out of this round. Zero making a little bit of noise on that A side with that undercut. So he'll going towards A link. Wants to try and re-clear this mid angle. Will they be able to find Mist? No, the timing is not right. Mist will find Sahil. It seems like they're aware of a possible C heavy execute. is missed, aware of Kylie and the Stinger in the corner.
30 seconds left.
No
No.
more meddling.
Kylie will be rewarded for the kill and puts up his Vandal.
Spike planted.
Rolling Thunder seems to be coming out right now. Only person to be affected will be Zero.
One enemy remaining.
Are they aware of this last player and how long they are? That is a big round for Riyadh, stopping that momentum for live.
My
And
ult
there
is ready.
goes.
You failed.
Possibly, this is now on the edge of Yen's hopes. This is now map and series
point.
point.
Yeah. I mean, that was again just pure mechanics coming through there. It's the hill swinging right out of that mid smoke on B. Finding Natural, getting the first pick of the round. They play numbers from that point, and the retake does come through successfully. Rolling Thunder invested. There was a nice bit of tech used by Deftones there, where he used the From the Shadows to dodge the ult, but just was not able to find any value from it, unfortunately.
Now, going into round 21 here, we have a triple post up A. This is something else. The high, mid, and low. They're not going to find anything, which is very unfortunate, as everyone on the side of Riyadh seems to be playing a lot more of a laid-back position. Playing just to hold their sights instead of being aggressive. Spike has been left in spawn, I assume, to try and limit any fault as if anyone were to die.
There are 4 ults online for the defensive side here, so they will be wanting to invest that.
Cover
It looks
going
like
out.
in a retake rather than fighting some of these angles.
I believe they want to try and they probably will use as many ults as possible if they have relative numbers advantage. They want this to be the last round of this game. Zero trying to scout out that Cypher cam. He's unable to find it, but seems to just be happy with all running it down to A.
30 seconds left.
Omen ult will be shut down. The Hunter's Fury coming out on that default angle. Natural finding Dior. 5 versus 2 now.
Last player
Kylie
standing.
finds Natural versus until Zero will trade out.
Spike planted.
No, Ethan, a little bit clueless as to where to go here. They could have the read. Zero's watching that heaven angle. They can hear him running. Should be missed go. Somehow, not Ethan will find Mist, but then Deftones will trade him out.
Yeah, I mean, just a clean exec onto A there. Choosing to default at the start of that round is pretty hard. Just sitting their spawn side, waiting for any aggression to come from the defenders of Riyadh. Push all the way up, just push their way on. And just nice, clean, simple Valorant. That's all that was at the end there.
Yeah.
Full buys coming in from either side with the ult still online for the attacking side.
Specs,
Reaper in
try to be open. Trusting his teammates to just hold him. Zero will get that kill contract up, which is very big if they decide to actually commit. Recon will come out. They'll know that there is 2 players on the side of C there.
The spike still is in the attacker's spawn, so they will have to...
You and
Big
me.
kill from this. That is a very odd positioning to play in. And big kill from Zero to win out that kill contract. They're aware of positioning now. They know there's one person A, one person mid. As the hill is up in CT going for that time. Will he find it? He will find Specs. Is he aware of where the other
Last player
woman is?
standing.
No. Deftones, 2 big shots there. We'll close out that round. The Yen is going up. 10-12.
Yeah. Just the ones coming through on the good side of Yen there. The ult, or rather the kill contract being invested. And a very...
And another timeout.
Yeah.
Second timeout of the half used by Riyadh here. They're slipping, they're cracking. They need to realize that they need to kind of close this out before it gets to overtime. Off of their last timeout though, they were able to find success in the round, so maybe they can find it once more. Then they need again 1 more round to close this out and get to playoffs.
Yeah, definitely thinking about how they can continue. Well, sorry, the defense are thinking about how to stop the momentum of Yen again. After their last time out, they came out with one round, but it has gone straight back to Yen's favor. And with a half buy coming out from the side of Riyadh here, they will have to figure out how to make the best of this round, and then if they plan to buy for next, how that they can win that next round and prevent an overtime game.
Riyadh needs to kind of expect a lurk from Mist. I think he's kind of created openings the last 2 or 3 rounds that have just been crucial to Yen actually being able to close it out. Like the last round, we found him in B finding Dior, and then I think twice now he's been able to just walk up into A with like no problems and just able to clear that out for Yen to then win the round.
You see the same default coming out here from the side of Yen. However, this time the defense has started to be proactive. They've started working the space, inserting Sahil deep into mid here, unbeknownst to the Cypher
very big angle. Very big angle where it hasn't been spotted out. If Yen even attempt to jump out of window, they are getting destroyed by Sahil and his Sheriff. Natural was aware of it, but Sahil moved. Sahil will find one before Deftones trains him out. Missed to find Kylie and not Ethan in garage. Was ready for that overdrive, had the shotgun at his feet.
Almost out.
And Natural uses it instead. It's more of a fear tactic than actually going for the eliminations. The retake seems to kind of be a bit hesitant here for the side of Riyadh, as they're all sitting back a little bit waiting for util from the attackers. Be kind of baited out.
I'm out
A
of here.
little bit of a whiff, and Natural, they're aware of all positions.
Cover going out.
One enemy remaining.
And you're overwhelmed by three different spots. Unfortunately, we'll get taken down.
Yeah, the gun
11 to
advantage,
12.
very obvious in that situation. There's a kill. Great positioning in mid, but only able to find one due to the fire rate of the Sheriff immediately being traded out after finding his. Then the
We do
Stinger
seem to
in
have
garage.
another tech pause here off of Natural DCing once again.
So we will head to a quick break, and we will be back with you very shortly. Stay tuned.
And we're back after that tech pause. Yeah, it took us a little while to get through that one, but we're back now at 11-12 on the scoreline. Yeah, still one round away from getting to playoffs, and the Vienna's going up only one round off of bringing it to overtime to have yet another attempt clinch back this win.
Yeah.
If they're able to get this done, win through overtime, then this is going to be one of the games of this tournament for sure. Down 0-7 at the half, sorry, in the first half. To where they are now is definitely monumental. Deftones will get that first pick off the Kylie to open this round up. C is almost free. They expect him to take not even long. Zero does not, but Mist will get the trade onto not Ethan. Little numbers in favour of Yenna's going up after natural trades. Dior will get Mist down. 2v2 now.
Everyone hiding.
Deftones is a little bit further
Last
away.
player standing.
Gets one, gets both, and going to overtime.
What a game to be watching. This is overtime.
Switching sides.
Qualification game for playoffs.
Overtime.
And it is going to overtime on the final
I'm
map
out of
of the series.
This has been the only map where it's been close. Started out so dominant from Riyadh in that 0-7 to now 12-12. So actually, this is an amazing game to watch right now.
Yeah, Yen have done really well to keep their mental in check, to keep themselves in this game, despite when they've been down in round numbers, and they brought it back spectacularly, I might add.
Their ability to bounce back is just almost unmatched. Both of these teams have just shown such like well-balanced kind of mentals, and that was unfortunate missed dart there from Specs, which could have possibly led to Natural's demise there. They've made their statement Riyadh, and now they have fallen off A, going down to Silong. The hard C exec. Silong's already out. Find this and 0. 2v5. This is not going very well.
Spike planted.
But yeah. Kylie should hear Specs on touch. She doesn't. Specs will get Kylie there. And it seems like Deftones was able to get Sahil off of a little bit too much over-aggression. 2v3 is a lot more doable than the 2v5 that we had before.
Scanning ahead.
A little bit of a missed lineup
Flying
there.
drone. Right here.
Drone should spot the Dior backside.
Last player standing.
A good double swing there from GG Easy, and Dior will close out this first round of overtime.
Yeah, Dior
Switching
finding
Will
sides.
a
Riyadh be able to close it out?
Match point.
very unfortunate from we see a timeout coming through from Glitch Goal, the coach of Yen. But very unfortunate there for Specs, who missed his lineups both times that round, leading to Natural's death at the start and his teammate's death right at the end of the round there. Blunder you can't afford to be having this late in the game.
Certainly not. Going into this timeout, I assume Glitchgore will be kind of on them about that. And now they need to go into talking about what was working in their attacking half just 3 rounds before, and try and convert that into this crucial overtime round to reset and have another attempt at defense.
Yeah, well, they'll have to put their all into this round. They are favoured on that attacker side, though. They did much prefer being there, and they did manage to push their way back to overtime. So we'll see if they can do it again, keep up the aggression on their offense side, and change the outcome of this game.
Certainly. Now, I think Yen had a lot more success with a lurk going to their attacking side. It was kind of like a one-man fake. They'd have almost 4 people show presence, and then just have that Cypher kind of go up wherever he felt it was useful, and just get all of that free space. It seems like early aggression will have Mist and Sahil down at very low health. So trades not necessarily for lives, but for health. As the hill will be down at 10 HP. Zero is locked down a little bit deep into short here. As there's still those two players being Dior and GG Easy in backside A. Lock that down. Possible garage aggression could also be what's going on here. But not Ethan's. Recon will clear that out. And a double tap did save Zero's life for one brief moment before Theo was able to swing off the natural.
No match.
We'll find a second in natural. 2v3 right here. Mist being very low, only on 33 HP. It's making it
30
very
seconds
difficult
left.
right now. Specs is essentially in their spawn, up backside B. This is very good. He's cleared out almost C essentially. Planting, they would not be able to hear it. Now all three players will be rotating through spawn. Specs is unaware as to how many people are there. He's going to take the gamble on top. Oh, big whiff. This is not good for this moment.
Scanning ahead.
The dart will come out, not scanning anyone.
One enemy remaining.
That dart may have been what just cost them their playoff spot. And that is the
Defenders
game.
win.
Incredible game.
12-14. Great game to watch, great game to cast.
They almost managed to pull it back there, the side of Yen, bring it all the way back to overtime, but just not able to convert those overtime rounds there. Really well played, really determined playstyle from the side of Riyadh. Securing themselves a spot in playoffs. Of the 8 teams in playoffs, Riyadh are now one of them. Whereas Yen will now have to play in the 3-3 bracket on the verge of playoffs and elimination.
Yeah, it's now going. This is very tough for Yen, considering they had that crazy dominant 13-1 win on that Corrode. Now leading into a 12-14 loss on the final map and a 13-4 loss also on that second map there.
Yeah, I mean, such a close game after 2 thrashings is not a common occurrence. I mean, if we have a look at the game score page, which should be coming up momentarily. 13-1 for Yen, 13-4 for Riyadh, and then a 14-12 overtime game. It is not a common one to see, and yet they managed to pull it through the reverse sweep, if you can call it that.
Yeah,
Bring
no.
themselves to playoffs.
Certainly could not have expected all this, especially after that crazy dominant showing. I believe that after that loss for Yen, now going to that 3-3 bracket, if they do lose their next game, they will get eliminated and not qualify for playoffs.
Yeah, so they're in a very dangerous situation now.
Certainly.
Looks like we potentially will have an interview from one of the members of Riyadh here to talk about their victory in that series.
Love to get that happening. Oh, will we?
Hopefully.
Get glitch.
We have Glitch Gull here, the coach of the side of Yen here. Since we do not have any of the Riyadh players yet, Glitch, are you here to talk to us about Yen's unfortunate victory? Yen's unfortunate defeat.
Yeah, unfortunate victory.
No, the
No,
unfortunate defeat.
Unfortunate defeat. Yeah, no, close game. Obviously the first map went well.
Can you tell me about
Very
a
well.
bit about Corrode? What sort of prep have you guys put into that? Because that was a very dominant defensive half you had, and a very dominant win
Yeah.
overall.
So, that corrode. Okay. Let's not spoil anything. But it obviously we haven't actually practiced it yet, but what we have done, obviously, we came up with the theory, and it worked really well. Um, obviously, it was 13-1. Look, I thought I had to sub in map 1. I thought I was gonna have a horrible game on Fade, bro. I thought it was over. And then I realized there's a little special gun you can run on Corrode. The Odin.
Oh yeah, we
So
saw
I
you
have
run
fun.
both the Odin and the Operator during that game,
Yes.
which was very interesting to see. Is that a part of
I
your
just
prep, or was that something you decided on the spot there?
Okay, so it was like around 4 or something. I was like, can I opt? I think it was around 5 or 6 actually when I actually opt. But yeah, I just asked if I could opt. Because you know, I was holding mid.
Yeah.
So
what?
yeah, I mean,
Can you tell me?
Speaking of
what...
mid,
Oh, sorry. Go on, Chris.
sorry. Speaking of mid, how do you find that for Corrode, is mid a valuable piece of the map to kind of have control of, especially on that kind of attacking side where you have those extra lanes?
yeah, definitely mid is it's like really important because on A you have to get out of this choke, which is horrible. So A split is much better like almost all the time, and it breaks up a lot of crossfires if you go through mid. For B, it's a bit less important, but it's still pretty important. And the crucial part about having mid on B takes is the retakes are going to be really bad because
Yes.
normally the retake's coming from mid if you're on defense, as you saw what we did.
Yeah.
It's normally coming from mid. So basically mid is very important on Corrode. And that's like a lot of the defensive theory. For Ascent, didn't go the way the team wanted. Look, I haven't done any prep for Ascent either. So you know, I don't know too much about Ascent. But from what we did, the mental, like, it just got bad, and we weren't able to get rounds really. So in the third map, we tried to just reset the mental. The comeback was good, 7-0 to like 12-12, but that last round, that was the that was the crucial round for them to win.
Yes.
Stop the bleeding.
Yeah, we saw some unfortunate miss lineups coming through from
Oh.
the Sova on Yen there. Was that part of the prep, or was that just an unfortunate
Oh, yeah.
occurrence?
The miss lineups are definitely intentional, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else you'd like to say before heading out, Mr. Glitchgirl?
Okay, Yen in the 3-3 bracket. Look, still or die.
Is
I won't be subbing in, probably. I mean, it would be a free stat pad, but
okay.
it's okay. No, but RYH was probably the worst team Yen could have drawn. Because they were probably the strongest still that hasn't qualified for playoffs yet. But look, Yen it's a bit rough right now because a lot of the players are leaving, so it's
Team
not
subs.
like a lot of players are leaving because of just like personal reasons, right? Like Wavy's not going to be there anymore, so they have to try out new people. So haven't really been able to do too much theory stuff, which is probably why the Ascent and Haven was lacking. Because we haven't had that much theory going into it. It's unfortunate they first banned Bind. I think we might have gone for that. I'm not sure actually. They also banned Sunset second, which is unfortunate. yeah, they just had a good veto against us, to be honest. I mean, I didn't do
Yeah.
the veto, but yeah, no. Looking at the 3-3, who could Yen face? Okay,
There's a
Red
couple
Line
of different
T3G's
opponents, though.
winner.
If Silent Horror lose.
Yeah, if Silent Horror lose, the loser of TFG and Disorder, but I believe no. So if it's Disorder, we can't face them. So either TFG, Silent
If
Horror if they
Brimstone
lose,
Baddies,
Brimstone Baddies if they win,
Yeah.
Red Line or T3G, which is going to be decided tonight, or Sills Warriors of Dogs. But Yen have already faced Dogs, so yeah, okay. Look, the only one that would be slightly worrying, in my opinion, is TFG.
Silent
But
Horror.
Silent Horror. What about Silent?
What are you on about?
Hmm.
So what you mean?
Look, look. We'll come more prepped. Hopefully, we'll have our roster together properly. And yeah, I mean, I've only done prep for like a couple maps so far, so
Alrighty. Thank you for talking to us, Glitch Gull. Good luck in your next games and your team's next games. Enjoy yourself. Have a good night.
thank you. Good night.
Bye.
Alrighty. Not Ethan. Welcome, welcome.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
How are you feeling after that victory?
Very good, very good.
Very good. That's very good to hear. Can you tell me real quick what was going through your head in that Haven game? You guys were up
That Haven
7-0
game?
and then
Oh,
only just won it in the overtime. What was going through your guys' heads?
alright, so we got 7-0, we got 7 rounds first. Really easy, yeah? And then after
Yeah.
that, we felt bad for them. We didn't want to 13-0 them.
Ah.
So, and then after, we gave them 5 rounds on purpose. You know,
Mm.
sometimes you gotta feel sympathy for your enemies.
So then what about
You
that
know?
second half?
Second half, again, we felt bad. We could have
Ah.
13-0'd them. I'll be honest, we could have 13-0'd them. If I really wanted to, I would ace every single round, but I didn't want to. So we gave them a couple rounds. We let them get OT, get their hopes up, and then we absolutely dominated.
One question. How did the team be able to bounce back after that 13-1 defeat on Corrode, being your my
Uh,
pick?
Alright, the 13-1 map. We literally, that was our warm up. We weren't trying. That was our
Ah.
warm up. Yep.
Yep. So you just knew you were gonna win it all, so you decided to have a warm up.
Yeah, we knew. Like we
Ah.
like having fun because this was supposed to have fun. We had fun,
Okay.
and then we went into serious mode, and then we absolutely dominated throughout all maps.
All right. How did you guys feel going into that Ascent game with
And
like yeah, just in general?
I,
How'd you
we
going
know
into their
our
map
scent is
pick?
strong. We know our scent is strong. You know,
Mm.
it was silly for them to pick a scent, especially putting us on defense first, as we are defense sided.
Yep.
And you know, we just have crazy combos. They can't really hold us. They're a bit on the, you know, little bit of the shit side. They're not that good. I'll say
Ooh.
that.
Okay.
Basically, we just out aim them. We outplay them. Our team's just better. Our communication's just better. Our aim's better. We're just that much better. You know,
All right.
Love the
Well,
confidence
yes,
coming
that
through.
happens. Yeah.
it
Do
does
you have
happen.
any? Do you have anything to say to the other team?
Anything to say to the other team?
Yes.
Put the ego down.
Put the ego down.
Maybe uninstall. Who knows? Just like
Oh.
either get better or uninstall. You got 2 options. That's all I'm
All
gonna say.
right.
A lot of trash talk coming in. Thank you very much for talking with us, Not Ethan. Good luck.
Thank you, thank you, thank you,
Good luck in playoffs now that your team has qualified.
thank you, thank you, thank you.
Alrighty, have a good night,
Goodbye.
Ethan.
Bye bye.
Alrighty.
And he'll want to come in.
He's not in the waiting room, so we'll probably end
Alright.
stream there.
Fair enough.
Thank you very much for tuning in to this round of VCC OCE Season 4. It was a thrilling, close match between Riyadh and Yen, with Riyadh pulling out on top in the final game, winning overtime. Have anything
Thank
to
you
say
all
to
very much for
Chris?
tuning in. Hope my casting wasn't too bad, first time. And yeah, it was a very, very good game to watch. And, in cast, I hope, Riyadh does well in playoffs. That's about all.
Alrighty, thank you for casting with me, Cruz. And this is Cruz and
Thank you.
Sir Banana signing out. Thank you for watching.